We're making a movie!
Good. Okay, 117 Echo, take one, cover mark.
And action.
I'm the script supervisor.
I'm first AC for camera A.
Second AD.
Best boy electric.
Focus puller.
I'm about to run this right here and man the camera.
Thank you, bye-bye. We've got over 20, 25 students that have worked really hard all semester preparing for this month-long experience.
Oh yeah, the standards have definitely been raised. You ready for me or no?
Normally we do films in 3 days,
We do a lot of student films.
and this has been like 4 weeks plus an entire semester of prep.
This is just insanely different.
The respect that I have for anybody doing grip work on a feature film is through the roof.
On set this week, we have Stephen Baldwin.
Let's leave him to do the miracles and me to handle the business.
On the technical side, it was better than anything I've ever experienced before. Kudos to Huntington University.
I'm afraid our conversation ends right here.
We also have casted Bethany Lind. She's on Ozarks and a DC series right now.
You just left, you didn't call, I thought you were dead.
I think this is an amazingly immersive experience. I wish I had had something like this.
Pros come in, and they've come in from all over the country. Our department heads.
The first 2 weeks of mentorship, I mean, it's a lot of teaching. Let's see if I can catch any more. It's fun to see where the students are now. We're on week 4, day 17. We're getting there now. I think it's good to walk away.
I think everybody on this project is in a little bit over our heads. But the prerequisite for being used by God is self-doubt. And we are all being used by God.
All of us are here and gifted with different things by God, and all of those pieces are going to fit together and make a really incredible movie.
I think that I'm like way more capable of like hard labor than I thought I was.
I think I've definitely become more confident in myself in the process of being able to figure stuff out when there's a problem.
Making movies is hard, but it's definitely it's meaningful because it's bigger than you.
I definitely think God is teaching me patience. I have learned how to take things with stride.
We want the way that we make movies to reflect our Christian faith. That's almost more important to me, that our students are seeing that.
That's convenient, thank you.
I hope that they can take something of what we're doing and live out their faith no matter what movie set they're on.
Folks, that is a picture wrap. Woo! We just made our movie.
Hello and welcome back into Forest Glen Park. It is Game 4 of the Crossroads League Tournament here at Huntington University. I'm Preston Husband alongside Carson Watkins. Your first call this week. A lot of baseball still ahead as you look at that the bracket shown on the screen there. Huntington won the first game here today. They move on and will play tomorrow night at 6 p.m. And if you look at the bracket up top on day 2, Taylor taking on Spring Arbor. They're the #1 team in this tournament, and it really starts with them offensively. They have been extremely solid to start this tournament. You know, they get the bye, and now that big offense gets to come out and kind of show up against Spring Arbor here today.
Yeah, they've been dominant pretty much back-to-back. They won Crossroads League last year. Foresters made the championship game with them. Couldn't complete it. It was a rough one for the Foresters, but obviously revenge on their mind. But Spring Arbor playing pretty good, winning yesterday. Looking to continue that on the day. They've played Taylor pretty close all year long.
Yeah, Spring Arbor has really put up some tough games against Taylor so far this year. They've been right there with them each time. They did beat them once this year in the regular season. And yesterday they obviously came away with a win that allows them to stick around and play another day against the top-seeded Taylor. It was Murphy on the mound for Spring Arbor yesterday. The lefty, very crafty, got out of it, and then Spring Arbor went to their bullpen, and they were able to shut down that Grace offense, and that leads them to today's matchup, and they will be facing one of the best in the league, Matt Dutkowski. He's 6-2 on the year with a 3.45 ERA. He's thrown 62 innings, 72 strikeouts in those 62 innings pitched, and just 17 walks. So he is one of the top guys in this league, and the Spring Arbor lineup will have a lot to really play for here today to stay in that winner's bracket against the top seed.
Yeah, that's going to be tough. They got a couple lucky breaks yesterday, a couple errors in the outfield by Grace, but sometimes you got to create your own luck, and that's what it comes down to, and that's what they're hoping for today. Pitch well. If you can keep Taylor off the base path, that's your best chance.
Same leadoff man here today for Spring Arbor. Aiden Brunin, the second baseman, will get things going, followed by Bryce Ritchie, Evan Laurie, Landon Rakowski, Ben Redfield, Brennan Moran, Brock Mullins, Braden Leathed, and Jake Spadowski. First pitch of the day. Fastball fouled off the ankle, and not a great start for that Spring Arbor offense as they see their leadoff man down on one knee. But working ahead early is Dutkowski.
Yeah, that's pretty tough right there. You take the first pitch off your ankle. It's going to affect him for the rest of the game. Seems to be walking it off all right. It's going to sting for a little bit, however.
The 0-1 pitch. Another fastball. This one down the left field line, just foul. And Matt jumps ahead right away, 0-2.
Yeah, see if they give him something outside the zone here. See if they can get him to chase. Has a pitcher's count here early.
Everyone wants to talk about Taylor's offense, but when you got a guy like Dutkowski that can come out here and really fill up the zone and strike batters out at a high rate, it gives your offense a little more room for error as well to come out, put a few runs up, and hopefully your ace is able to hold on as he just misses outside.
Yeah, like I said, give him something outside. He thought about it. He went for the check swing, didn't go around. So he tries to work back in this count.
Brunin, the leadoff man, still up, 1-2 pitch. Fastball this time catches the outside corner, and it's an early K for Dutkowski.
Yeah, he was a little bit disappointed in that. I think you got to take it as you see right here. Like you said, just catches the corner. Great frame job there, but when you're down 1-2, not really one you can take.
Little two-seamer it looked like there from Dutkowski, running that one back on the outside corner. As we get the look from center field, one of the league's top hitters, Ritchie, steps in, fouls it off to the right side. He comes in a top 3 hitter in the conference and coming off another good performance yesterday, 2 for 4 against Grace. And when the top of the order goes for Spring Arbor, so does the rest of their team. All 4 in the top of their top 4 hitters were the ones to score runs yesterday in the matchup. But Dutkowski again up 0-2 on Ritchie. Still working from the windup. And here's the pitch. This one up and in. Ritchie able to get out of the way, and the count moves to 1-2. The Spring Arbor team not built to hit a lot of home runs, kind of play base-to-base ball out there, small ball. We saw that a little bit yesterday, and Ritchie's kind of the table setter for them. Here's the pitch. Another one on the outside corner, and 2 quick Ks for Dutkowski has the Spring Arbor batters fooled to start the top of the first.
2 backwards Ks back-to-back. That's the start you want. He's keeping that pitch count low. As you see the replay there. Once again, just kind of painted the corner. And he's really exploiting that little corner, just painting it every time perfectly.
He's got that fastball running back towards the plate. Starts it in the left-handed batter's box, and so far 2 batters gone on strikeouts looking. That'll bring up Evan Laurie, the center fielder here today for Spring Arbor. He lifts one to the left side. It's going to find its way out of play as Knepp takes a look, but nothing there. And the count goes to 1-1. Little nicer day here today, Carson. Yesterday about 50 degrees. Warming up. The sun is out. Some clouds in the sky. Here's the 1-1. Fastball too high. Count now 2-1.
Yeah, last spring was pretty brutal. It was around 40 almost every game the entire season. Then Ryan and I go to conference tournament at Iwu and Taylor last year. It's 90 degrees.
The weather is always different here in northern Indiana as Dutkowski continues to hit that same side of the plate. Now the count is 2-2.
Yeah, I was wondering how it worked. Got the other side of the plate for the first time today, and he's still just finding that corner inside and outside.
Looking to strike out the side. Here's the pitch. Fastball ripped to the left side. Right on it is the left fielder Manning, and he makes the grab. So an easy 1-2-3 inning for the Taylor Trojans. They won the Crossroads League in the regular season. They're looking to do the same in the postseason. We'll be right back for the bottom of the first inside Forest Glen Park.
Bippa State Bank is a cornerstone of the community. Our banking building blocks were assembled in 1911 and haven't differed much since then. We still stay true to our local roots, aiming to support, uplift, and celebrate the citizens and businesses of Huntington. As proud lenders to and patrons of our local businesses, we make our community an even more prosperous place. And when you support local banking, you play an important role in Huntington's success stories. No matter what financial products you may need, your business is an invaluable opportunity for us to strengthen our relationship with Huntington, which we're fortunate enough to call home. Bippa State Bank is banking at its best. We believe in community banking.
Welcome back to Huntington University's campus. We're at Forest Glen Park this afternoon for game number 4 of the Crossroads League tournament here in 2023. Right now we've got Taylor and Spring Arbor. Huntington from the 2 spot defeated Mount Vernon this morning and moved on. They will face the winner of Indiana Wesleyan and St. Francis in tonight's game, and that'll be played tomorrow at 6 p.m. The winner of this game will move on and play 2:30 tomorrow and play the loser of Indiana Wesleyan and St. Francis. So a little different setup in this year's bracket, but that is how it will play out here this week at Huntington University. If you don't have plans, come on down and support your favorite team in the Crossroads League. A lot of really good baseball being played over these first 2 days, Carson, and we're looking for another really good matchup in this one.
Yeah, looking at that bracket, you just see, 1 through 6, all great teams. And it's not going to be easy for the Foresters tomorrow. They'd rather get the 3 or the 4 seed. Both, like I said, spectacular teams. They snuck into that 2 spot at the last minute, and I sure bet they're happy they did.
Sean Castle will be the lefty on the mound starting the day, and he starts his day by hitting the leadoff man Camden Knepp on the right elbow. And the leadoff man is on for the Taylor Trojans.
Yeah, tough break. That's why you wear that protector there. Just got a piece of him. He tried to get out of the way. That is part of the rule. If the umpire deemed he did not get out of the way, he would have had to take that for a strike.
Taylor in their all-white unis today. It's the visiting team, the Spring Arbor Cougars, in their away grays. Castle is going to throw over and check on Knepp. Knepp has been a tremendous leadoff man this year, but you can't say enough about the next man up at the plate right now, Caleb Colpine. He is leading the league in hitting, comes in batting .426 as Castle finds the strike zone for the first time today. But to keep that average above 400 all year long is quite remarkable. And, these top 2 guys for Taylor, they get on base, and then you've got a guy like TJ Bass on deck who leads the league in home runs. It's a pretty good recipe for success.
Yeah, like we aforementioned, at the end of the day, it just never ends. If you're a pitcher on the mound against the Trojans, it's just day after day after day. Relievers, everyone up and down the lineup, and then you play defense and everyone can hit.
Castle keeping a close eye to Nepp over there. This Taylor team scores a ton of runs. They're over 9 runs per game after 50 games in the regular season. Here's the pitch, lifted to the left side. That's going to find its way out of play, and the count remains 0-2. Tell you a little bit about Castle's year. He's 5-3 with a 4.39 ERA, 55 and a third innings pitched, 62 strikeouts, so another strikeout guy, well over 1 per inning. Looking for his first today. The pitch, too far outside. Count 1-2.
Like that pitch there, get him outside, see if you can get him to chase it, and even try to get weak contact and try to pull two until you get TJ Bass up.
He'd love to roll a double play here, maybe a ground ball to the right side, trying to get out of some early trouble. Another one too low, and the count evens up at 2-2.
Now he's expecting that one outside, maybe try to get him in the corner with a fastball here.
Colpine, the best hitter in the conference as far as average this year. Obviously a tough out. Castle's pitch. Another one outside, and that just missed the outside corner. And the count moves to 3-2.
Tried to frame that one, just wasn't there.
We'll see if Taylor puts that runner in motion over at first base. Obviously a contact guy at the plate. Here's the pitch. Nothing happening, and he fouls it straight back. Count will hold at 3-2.
Really surprising. Had a big old lead there. You think he would try to take advantage of it.
On the year, Taylor, not a team to run very often. Only 59 stolen bases. Castle delivers again too low, and that will lead to TJ Bass coming up with the first 2 on in front of him.
Not the way you want to start a game, especially with a hitter like TJ Bass up there. He has the opportunity to just blow this one wide open.
TJ Bass leads the conference in home runs this year with 18. He also knocked in 56 RBIs. But last year, he knocked in 91 runners for 91 RBIs and led the nation. So obviously a very dangerous hitter here in the 3 spot. Castle with the pitch. Fastball too low. And the count's 1-0. Castle's going to have to get his command in control here now, as Taylor's got their number 1 pitcher on the mound here today against the Cougars. The pitch. This time he finds the outside corner, evens up the count at 1-1. Spring Arbor, as you can see there from our home plate camera, playing a little bit of a shift. 3 infielders on the left side of the bag. The pitch. Popped up to the right side. A little extra room over there, but not enough for Mullins as it falls into the away bullpen, and the count is now 1-2. Castle trying to get his first out here in the bottom of the first. Tough hitter at the plate in Bass. Here's the pitch. One lifted to center field. Right on it is Laurie. Not too deep. Runner tags at second, but he's just bluffing, and Laurie makes the catch, and the ball's back into the infield. So a nice job by Castle working around Bass, and that's the first out in the inning.
Yeah, he got a lot of that one there. Just kind of kept traveling. Only needed about another 30 feet to clear the fence, but 400 dead centers, incredibly difficult.
That brings up Cade Vandermolen. He's the first baseman. He's a senior for the Trojans this year. Batting in the 4 spot. He's had a solid year as well, batting .324 with 12 home runs himself, with 54 knocked in, which is good for second on this Trojans team. So another tall test here for Castle as he delivers first pitch just outside. Count 1-0. So you wouldn't say this Taylor team lives or dies by the home run, but they hit an awful lot of them and score a lot of runs. And right now for Castle, if he can just sneak through this first inning, he may be able to get more in a rhythm after hitting the first batter and walking the next.
Yeah, if you watch Ryan and I or listen to our podcast last year, we like to talk about analytics, and home runs are great, they're fun, but at the end of the day, they're incredibly difficult, incredibly rare, and so a lot of teams have opted for trying to find guys who can hit the gaps, attempt to, especially with the shift ban and all levels of professional baseball.
Thankfully for Spring Arbor, they're able to continue that shift on Bass, as we saw here at the NAIA level. Those changes may be taking place in the near future. We'll see where that goes, as the 1-2 pitch from Castle is out too wide. Nice job by Rakowski saving some bases for his pitcher. And the count now 2-2. Vandermolen has a chance to put his team on top. Taylor, the top team in the conference, after winning the conference tournament last year. The pitch. Fouled straight back, good swing. But the count remains 2-2. So Spring Arbor going with back-to-back lefties to start this tournament. It was Murphy yesterday who gave them a really good outing. And now Castle trying to give them some length again today. The pitch. Pops straight up in the air. Should be an infield fly rule, and it is. Rakowski settles under it and makes the catch. So Castle gives up 2 free base runners to start the inning, but gets the most dangerous hitters in the lineup out on a fly ball and a pop-up to the catcher.
Yeah, let's take a look at this one. Rakowski said, hey, I need some room here. Camps under it, makes a great catch. Now you get the force out at first. You don't got to worry too much. If you can keep this one on the ground or strike them out, they'll be good to go, but don't want to give another free base.
That brings up the second baseman, Mason David, who's batting .417 on the year as well. 7 home runs, 46 knocked in. Castle trying to work around a little early trouble. Ground ball right side. Brunin on it, makes the throw over, and the side is retired. So Castle works around a little bit of trouble early, gets a fly out, a pop out, and a ground ball to the right side, and he keeps things locked at 1. Castle battles through the first. We'll head to the second. It's the Taylor Trojans and the Spring Arbor Cougars when we come back.
We're JJ's. I invite you to visit one of our 7 BP convenience stores. And when you do, I expect you will experience hometown excellence in the cleanest and friendliest convenience stores in your community. Please also consider visiting JJ Java for the best cup of coffee in town, or JJ's Pit Stop for a quick, no appointment necessary professional oil change. Also, if you ever need a clean, efficient environment in which to do laundry, JJ's Washroom is ready to serve you.
We are still locked at no runs here as we head into the second inning. Dukowski back out there on the mound for Taylor as he worked a perfect 1-2-3 inning in the top of the first against the Spring Arbor lineup. They'll be leading off with Landon Rakowski, who is the second leading hitter in the conference this year, batting right around 400. And we've seen a lot of really good offensive catchers in this Crossroads League tournament. Ryan and I were talking about that in the Huntington game earlier. It seems like the catchers have showed out here and, usually relied on for their good defense, their mentoring ability to pitchers and young players. But today, the catchers have shown they're very capable offensively as well. First pitch, dropped in there for a strike. Taylor will vacate the entire right side other than their first baseman Vandermolen over there, as you see the shift, 3 on the left side. Ball too far outside, 1-1. So obviously expecting Landon Raskowski to pull this one on the ground. If he can shoot one through the right side, he could crawl to first. As he tries to do that, little one-hopper to Vandermolen. He's going to be able to beat Raskowski over to the bag, and 1 up, 1 down.
Yeah, good hustle. Try to get in a foot race there, and that one was about 5 feet over. He would have had, like you said, crawled to first, but right to him. Plays it perfectly on the bounce here. And at that point, I just had to beat him. He kind of started slow. He's like, all right, I'm going to walk over there. And he goes, oh, no, he's sprinting. I got to go.
Yeah, Raskowski really moving down the line there as Redfield now steps in. He had a really nice day offensively yesterday. Went 2 for 3 with 3 runs knocked in. But Dudkowski starts him with a fastball strike. Talk about how important it is to get ahead of hitters. And Dudkowski has done that to every single batter he's faced so far. And now he's up 0-2. Dudkowski with 2 Ks already. Those the first 2 batters of the game, looking for number 3, but it's a foul ball off to the left side, and the count remains 0-2. Redfield swinging it from the left side. They also play him in the infield to pull. Dudkowski with the 0-2 pitch. Fastball lifted to center field, but Bass has a beat on it, and he's underneath it and makes the catch. So 5 up, 5 down as Dudkowski continues to find ways to get these Spring Arbor Cougars out. And he is rolling right now on the mound.
Really like that play there from Bass in center field. Kind of was a little bit left of center, and he just had to take a little curve in there, played it perfectly, got under it, gets the second out.
Now to bring up the shortstop, Brennan Moran. He had a 2-hit day yesterday as well, as he takes first pitch too far inside, 1-0.
Yeah, you might want the free base, but that fastball would hurt for a little while.
Any way they can get a base runner on, that's what Spring Arbor's looking forward to, as this one's lifted to the right side. Back on it is Vandermolen, but it's actually the second baseman, David, who roams over and makes the catch. So another perfect inning by Matt Dudkowski. He's got these Spring Arbor hitters asking some questions after their first 6 at-bats. We'll head to the bottom of the second. No runs, no hits for either side. Taylor coming up next.
Bibba State Bank is a cornerstone of the community. Our banking building blocks were assembled in 1911 and haven't differed much since then. We still stay true to our local roots, aiming to support, uplift, and celebrate the citizens and businesses of Huntington. As proud lenders to and patrons of our local businesses, we make our community an even more prosperous place. And when you support local banking, you play an important role in Huntington's success stories. No matter what financial products you may need, your business is an invaluable opportunity for us to strengthen our relationship with Huntington, which we're fortunate enough to call home. Bibba State Bank is banking at its best. We believe in community banking.
Welcome back inside Forest Glen Park. Game 4, of the Crossroads League tournament. It's Taylor and Spring Arbor. So far, no issues at all on the mound for Matt Dudkowski for the Trojans. And Sean Castle had a little trouble in that first inning, but he was able to work around the first 2 men in the lineup getting on, and now he's got a fresh inning to start the second. Ben Cowball will lead it off. As he steps in from the right side, the southpaw wearing number 7 for Spring Arbor will deliver the first pitch. That hits the outside corner, strike 1. So working ahead of batter is something that Castle didn't do as well in the first, looking to do that more often here in the second. As he gets a ground ball, and that's going to go through for a hit. Nice piece of hitting there by Cowball, as that is the first hit of the day for either side, and a nice piece of hitting off the lefty.
Yeah, really good. Just scorched it right through the gap here. That's what you want. Second baseman playing a little bit out of position. Right to the right fielder, you got a base runner on. First hit of the game. Giving the pitcher something else to worry about.
That'll bring up a freshman DHing here today for the Trojans. He'll be batting left-handed, Sam Glad. He's a .279 hitter with 5 home runs and 30 runs knocked in on the year. As I mentioned, this Trojans team does not attempt many stolen bases, and especially with Castle on the mound, it might be even tougher. The pitch, fastball right down the heart, count 0-1.
You do get the pinch runner for the catcher, so you do have to consider that as well. You get to send your fastest guy out there every time.
Looks like it might be Luke Pasciatti over there at first base, as this breaking ball is down in the dirt.
another rule change being contemplated by Major League Baseball. I'm not sure if you heard that or not.
Yeah, I've heard that a few times. Just several different changes to kind of make the game a little quicker. Let your catcher go over and get his gear back on and be ready to roll again when his job is to go back out on defense. Castle throws over. Nothing happening. Count 1-1.
Catcher's not notoriously speed burners on the base paths either, so I think some teams would welcome that.
Yeah, absolutely. If you can add a weapon that may bring someone like Billy Hamilton back, as the pinch runner is off here and he slides in safely. Raskowski put the throw right on the money, but Pashadi able to slide in, diving head first. And that also just opens up more spots on a roster. You get a fast base runner who can come off, as Pashadi did his job right there. He gets to come in, run for the catcher, and now he's got himself in scoring position.
You know, like you mentioned, Billy Hamilton. You know, if you get a Billy Hamilton on the base path every inning, your chances of win will go up. But you can get a guy like that who can steal bases like that for your catcher. You don't have to put wear and tear on your catcher's knees. It's a really huge benefit.
Castle just missed the outside corner on that last pitch to Glad. The count is even at 2-2. Pashadi still out there on second base, I should say. Here's the 2-2 after the pickoff move. But you look at Pashadi on the year. He's a .238 hitter. He's had 130 at bats, and that was his 16th stolen bag of the year. So he gets on and he's willing to run. Only been caught 4 times. The pitch. Too far outside. Raskowski keeps it right at home plate. Keeps Pashadi a second.
Been really impressed with Raskowski's ability to block balls so far today. Like you said, saving bases for his pitcher. You're going to need some more of that today.
Castle sets the payoff. Too far outside, and it's another walk. So Taylor has had all kind of traffic on the base paths to start this game. And they've got the first 2 on again. And they're just looking to kind of push across that first run, as Braden Manning will be the next man up.
Now batting in the 8th spot, number 21, the left fielder, Braden Manning.
Would not be surprised to see a bunt here. Even though Manning is a .288 hitter, he's also just a freshman, so several young players in this lineup for Taylor making impact right away. Castle with men on first and second. First pitch to Manning. He is looking to bunt, but pulls back, and the pitch is too high.
Yep. You have a free base. You're getting ready to welcome back the top of the order. That bunt's probably a pretty good move. You get 2 runners in scoring position. Let someone try to knock them home. Inherent risk, though.
Throw to second, a little high, but making the grab was Brunin out there. And against Dudkowski, you know, he looks pretty locked in right now. So any way that Taylor can push push across a few runs, they'll feel pretty good with their ace on the mound. The bunt to the right side, it's going to roll foul, so the count will even up at 1-1.
You don't want to.
Yeah, go ahead.
You don't want to put that much power on the bunt there. Try to get a little bit less on it. That was a pretty good bounce. The first baseman plays in, you could be in trouble for 2.
And
caught a break there.
With guys on first and second, you'd want to bunt this ball to third base, because you don't want the first baseman to be able to field this and snap it over and eliminate your lead runner. So I'm surprised to see Manning try to push this one towards the first base bag. No bunt this time. It's ripped up the middle, caught by the shortstop. How about a triple play? Brennan Moran steps on second base over to Mullins. You can count them up. 1, 2, 3, and that is one way to get out of the jam.
Yeah, let's take a look at it here. He was going for the bunt, decided not to do it, ripped. Just a great play there by the shortstop. Steps on the bag, and he was toast. That's exactly what you want. Love the energy there.
The rarest play in baseball. Triple play, bottom of the second. We head to the third between Taylor and Spring Arbor. Top of the third, beginning between the Taylor Trojans and the Spring Arbor Cougars. A triple play as Sean Castle gets out of the bottom of the second. Gives up no runs, just that one hit, and his defense picks him up. Dutkowski back out there, delivers way too high for ball one. You know, you do not see many of those at all.
No, as you mentioned, it's the rarest play in baseball, especially like that. Goes right to the shortstop. I mean,
this ball's lined into center field, and it's going to get down for the first hit of the day for the first baseman, Brock Mullins. He was awfully excited after finishing that triple play and showing a little emotion after the base hit there as well.
Yeah, as I always say, let the kids play, and I love it right here. Great piece of hitting.
So
Gets a hold of that one.
Nearly unhittable to start the first two innings, and now leadoff man on for Spring Arbor. Maybe a play like that triple play has a chance to spark the energy. Is looking to bunt. Here is Spring Arbor. Down perfectly. Throw over from the third baseman. Knepp is in time. That'll go down as a sac bunt for Leathed. And moving over to second base is Mullins, who singled.
We were talking about it last inning. When you have a runner on first, you want that ball right down the third baseline, about halfway between the pitcher, third baseman, and catcher. Perfect play.
Jake Spadowski comes up now. Swinging from the left side, good contact guy. You never put it out of the realm of possibility for him to put down a bunt as well, especially with the defense playing back here for Taylor. First pitch, just outside, count 1-0.
Bit of a risky move there, like you mentioned. We'll see if he probably just tries to take a hack at this one. Try to get to the outfield, move the runner to the third.
Base hit here could give Spring Arbor a one-run advantage if they're willing to take a risk with those outfield arms from the Trojans. Pitch, fouled straight back, count evens up at 1-1. Outfielders are fairly deep. Bass in center, Manning in left, right fielder Colpane, excuse me. Here's the pitch. Too far inside. Count 2-1. So it feels like Taylor has had all the momentum, and the pitching's gone well, and now Dutkowski finds himself in a little bit of a hole. And Spring Arbor can kind of take that momentum with that triple play they just turned in the bottom of the second. Dutkowski sets and the pitch. Big swing and a miss. Spadowski unable to catch up to that one. Count evens up at 2-2. Dutkowski with 2 Ks already through 2 1/3. The runner out at second. Brock Mullins advancing on the sac bunt. Dutkowski sets and the pitch. Fouled off to the left side. Count holds at 2-2. A lot of great pitching to start this tournament, Carson. There's really not been any high-scoring games. Pitchers have come with their best stuff and really in a pretty good hitter's ballpark down here in Forest Glen.
Yeah, balls tend to carry here, but like you said, we have some great pitchers in this league.
Dutkowski's pitch, ripped foul. Heads up over in the Spring Arbor dugout.
It's glad we got that fence. We didn't have those last year.
Nearly some friendly fire there by Spadowski. And he's staying alive at the plate against a really tough pitcher in Dutkowski. Still 2-2. The pitch just outside, count now full. Really nice at bat here by Jake Spadowski. He's DHing here today. He DH'd yesterday as well. In the 9th spot, serving as that second leadoff man. High on base percentage guy trying to break the scoreless tie. Lifts one to the left side. Giving it a look is Knepp, but that will find the forest, and the count remains full.
Yes, ballpark's beautiful, but treacherous for those foul balls.
It looks like Langston Ginder, Huntington University players, searching for a couple of those foul balls. And I'm sure they go through a ton of baseballs down here, especially with the creek running through. It's awfully hard to find them sometimes. The payoff. Lifted to the right side. Over on it is Bass. This ball's traveling, and it's down. Spadowski coming around. He's going to try for 3. Mullins in to score, and it is a sliding triple for Spadowski. That ball just kept carrying, and Bass was unable to get to it. It's a 1-0 advantage for Spring Arbor.
Yeah, really surprising outfield gap there from Bass as you take a look at the replay here. Gets a good contact on it after a great at-bat. Couldn't quite tell if it was going to right, and then as you see Bass kind of come into frame here, he just missed it. Then he takes a tumble in the outfield. It's been raining a little bit, so that's a big break. Like I said, they got a couple of those yesterday. I doubt that's going to go for an error, but that's a really tough break there for Bass in the outfield.
It went for a triple to center, and honestly, that ball, when it was first off the bat, I thought Bass had a really good read on it, but Spadowski got a lot more of that ball than I thought. It drops in. He gets all the way to third, and now he hands it off to Aiden Brunin at the top of the order.
I just mentioned balls carried down here.
Brunin swings and fouls it straight back off the catcher's glove cow ball. He's fine, and the count's 1-1.
We were talking about when that at-bat started, you take the bunt and try to move the runner. Really glad they did it. Now only needs another fly ball. If not a hard one in the infield, he's got some speed. You can get 2 runs this inning. Give yourself a little breathing room.
The 1-1, way up and in. Count 2-1. Taylor Infant's defense, I should say infield defense, trying to mix those two together. Moves in a little bit, maybe trying to cut down that runner at third in Spadowski. Brunin just needs to lift one in the air and maybe give Spring Arbor a 2-0 lead. The pitch, right up the middle, and Brunin connects on a single, and it is a 2-0 advantage for the underdog, the Spring Arbor Cougars.
It happens. It happens. Now, one other
Taylor
great piece
Trojans.
of. Hey, you know what? Another great piece of hitting here. This one gets a hold of it.
Now batting.
Trying to make a move on that one. There was nothing going there. Bass fields it cleanly, but off to the races at third base. Nothing you can do there. And still only 1 out. You can see how a double play here. Someone warming up in the, just getting stretching a little bit there in the bullpen. I'm not sure how long they're going to want him to go today.
Richie takes first pitch breaking ball in there. So the Cougars have jumped out on top after Dudkowski was perfect through the first 6 batters. Cougars up to 3 hits, now 2 runs to show for it. The pitch, fouled straight back, count 0-2.
We were talking about it. We were a little surprised they sent their ace out. Like I said, not sure what kind of leash he has, not sure how long they want him to go.
Well, now I feel like if you're going to use your ace, you might as well keep him in there as long as he can go. I don't know if you want to maybe take him out early and then rest him again, but if he can keep this 2-0, the Taylor offense is good enough to make up for those. If it starts to stretch more, then maybe you think about pulling him out here shortly.
Still just some stretches, no pitches being thrown out there in the bullpen. Also, you know, like, there's a lot of games left, especially if you can't pull this one out. You got to go to the loser's bracket as the 1 seed. That's never easy.
To the right side, this could be 2. Second to short, on to first, and in time. Nice turn up the middle by David and Kennedy. And Vandermolen finishes it off. But it's a 2 spot in the top of the third. A little help from Dudkowski's defense as he gets a 4-6-3 twin killing. Spring Arbor 2, Taylor nothing. We'll be back at Forest Glen Park.
This is how we like to do it.
It is the Spring Arbor Cougars up 2-0 after 2.5 innings here at Forest Glen Park. And Sean Castle is ready to take on his 3rd inning of work. He got a ton of help from his defense on that triple play. That went 6-3 as he caught the ball for the first out, stepped on second, tossed it over to first, and that momentum then led led to 2 runs in the top of the 3rd for Spring Arbor.
Absolutely, you want to see that. This is the momentum in this tournament. Every time the triple play, the RBIs, the Spring Arbor bench kept exploding. You want to support your guys in the tournament. Everyone plays a role. If you're one of the 9-10 guys in the field or DHing, you have a big role. Obviously, those guys in the bench play a crucial role, keeping morale high no matter what happens.
Ben Kennedy, the 9-hole today in the shortstop. We just saw him finish off that double play to in the top of the 3rd. Is at the plate now.
You've seen it already. He has a great glove. That's why he's down there in that 9-hole. But sometimes you have those players on your team. Sometimes they bat lower in the order, but the stat defensive runs saves is also incredibly important.
Castle working here. He delivers another strike. He's up on Kennedy 1-2. Castle no Ks so far. Looking for his first of the day. The pitch. Just a little too high. And the count now 2-2. Castle from the windup. Inside, and another full count for these Taylor Trojans at the plate.
They're just rocketing that pitch count up, pitch by pitch, taking these long at-bats. You want to get into the bullpen, Spring Arbor bullpen.
Castle's 3-2, swing and a miss, his first strikeout of the day as Kennedy goes down swinging. And Castle starts out with the first leadoff batter retired today for him in 3 innings.
Yeah, a little bit of lift on that one, just got past his bat. He'll take the strikeout even though it took 6 pitches. Now he's got the top of the order to deal with again.
Knepp, one of the better hitters in all the conference, steps back in after being hit by a pitch in the first inning. Takes ball just a little low.
Already those at-bats lasting longer than his first one, so he's got to stay in there. Probably going to try to keep him away from inside.
This one's too high, and now the count's 2-0.
You'd like to see possibly a strike here easily, and maybe even take a fastball in the outside corner. Don't want to get in a 3-0 situation here. Against, like I said, this top 3 is dangerous.
Strike right down the middle for Castle.
Well, you'd like to, that's usually your 3-0 pitch right there. You just take it down the middle. Incredibly risky there, but it pays off, and now he's going to battle back in this count.
2-1, too far inside. Count is now 3-1.
Also in the tournament, I think that 3-0 green light's pretty going to be a lot more utilized.
Castle, lefty on lefty, delivers the 3-1. Breaking ball looked like fouled back, and the count now 3-2. Second straight batter for Taylor. Getting a lot of pitches out of the southpaw Castle on the mound. Here's the pitch. To the right side, going to be a tough play for Brunin, and it's actually going to be a foul ball that hit off, it looked like Knepp's shin there in the box.
Tough break. I was going to say that one, there was a lot of contact on that for how slow it was rolling.
Must have just got the top of the foot. And so he's going to stay in the box, and the count's going to still be 3-2.
Really tough break there for Spring Arbor. Still looking to get out of this at bat. That's a detrimental play, though.
This one fouled into the Taylor dugout, heads up over there. As everyone's able to dodge out of the way, and Knepp's able to stay alive.
Stay attentive in the dugout. That's a
3-2 pitch. This one, a check swing, and he went! His second strikeout of the day now for Sean Castle.
Well, that was incredibly close. He's obviously pretty upset. I'll have to take a look at it here. Just seems like right there. They point down immediately, rings him up.
Castle maybe getting a benefit of the doubt on that one, but either way, he struck out the first 2 batters here in the bottom of the 3rd. Colpine now up, leading hitter in the conference, takes ball too low, and the count is 1-0.
Yeah, best hitter in the conference. You get out of it. You get a strikeout out of that. That's a huge break.
Castle settling in after having a lot of traffic those first 2 innings. Colpine lifts it up and out of play to the left side. And the count's 0-1.
We'll take a look at it right here. Yeah, things like I guess that's a toss-up, really.
Yeah,
it goes either way.
Such a tough call as this one's grounded to Moran at short. makes the throw over, and the side is down in order. So Castle benefits maybe from a close check swing call, but he goes right through the top of the order of the Taylor Trojans, and he keeps his team in front. We'll head to the top of the fourth. It's 2-0 in favor of Spring Arbor. Welcome back to Forest Glen Park. We're showing you the bracket once again. This would be a really big upset in the Crossroads League tournament. Spring Arbor as the 6th seed taking on Taylor, the 1 seed. Huntington already moved on against Mount Vernon. They won 7-4 in the first game today. And stick around after this one because we've got Indiana Wesleyan and St. Francis in the nightcap. Lots of baseball here in Huntington, Indiana this week, and a great place to host. One of the most unique baseball fields that I've ever been to, and probably in the state of Indiana, buried down in a forest. Fits perfect for the, of course, mascot for Huntington University, the Foresters, as the first pitch from Dutkowski's in there for a strike.
Yeah, last year we had a ribbon cutting ceremony. Was able to get this beautiful turf field. Thanks again, Thad Frame. We'll never be able to thank you enough for all the hard work he put in to get this turf field going.
And Thad Frame for Huntington University in his first year as the head coach. We want to congratulate him as well on his first postseason win as a head coach, and he's done a really fine job in his first year.
Yep, took a little bit of the reins after his dad unfortunately had complications due to COVID-19. Runs a great program here, and like I said, got the turf field going. We were supposed to host last year, got delayed a couple days for rain. Fortunately, we had a little bit of problems with the outfield drainage last year. Got that taken care of, and now we got some beautiful days for baseball.
Dutkowski back on the mound, trying to put up a scoreless inning here in the top of the fourth, the 0-2. Breaking ball lifted to center field. This time Bass does have a beat on it. A few steps in and makes the easy grab. And Dutkowski retires the leadoff man there in the top of the fourth. Evan Laurie on the line drive out. And that'll bring up the 4-hole hitter, Landon Raskowski.
Last year we had a ribbon cutting ceremony during the Board of Trustees meeting for this turf field. Towards the end of the season due to weather, and usually Board of Trustees come in pretty late. And a common sentiment was the fact that this is probably top 3, maybe even top 1 of the best baseball fields in the Midwest. Just the scenery. Can't get much better.
It's a great, great time to be here this week, and really just a great place to have the tournament as Raskowski swings and misses. It's a really good hitter's ballpark, as you mentioned. I think that not only does the ball fly down here, but the batter's eye is just a bunch of trees, so it's pretty easy to pick the ball up at the plate. Raskowski is hit by the pitch, and he'll head down to first.
And sometimes you take a look at batter eye, and it's pretty much just a wall out there, and sometimes it's even a black wall, and kind of that one's going to hurt for a little bit. Decided to forego that right arm guard. Sometimes I know Jose Abreu infamously doesn't wear one. He led the majors in hit by pitches 2 years ago, and someone said, "Why don't you just put the thing on?" He's like, "It's uncomfortable. I don't want to."
Yeah, Raskowski takes that one, but he's the catcher, so he's used to getting beat up a little bit behind home plate as well. Redfield in there, lifts one to left center. Over on it is Manning. Settles under, makes the grab, and an easy second out of the inning for Dutkowski on the mound.
Raskowski not being pinch ran for.
Yeah, Raskowski staying out there. We saw the Taylor catcher Callbow, come out, and he was ran for, and just put someone quicker out there. But Raskowski's going to stick out there, and he's actually a pretty quick runner. We saw him nearly beat out that infield hit he had to the right side his first time up. Dutkowski in the dirt, and right on cue, there goes Raskowski into second safely. Really nice read by him.
Yeah, not the best jump in the world, and luckily for him, it kind of curved away. We'll take a look at it right here. Just kind of dipped out of the zone at the last minute, took a horrible bounce, and that one stays a little bit closer. He might be toast, but he gets it. Nice slide there. No throw. Running score position with 2 outs.
Really tough for catchers to pick breaking balls. Looks like Cowball just kind of was caught in between as this one's lifted out of play to the right side, and the count evens up at 1-1. Just so much spin on those breaking balls to be able to pick them. I think a lot of catchers would say they try to pick the fastball, block the breaking ball. And right there, it's probably a wild pitch on Dutkowski either way. The 1-1, just outside, and now the count is 2-1.
Yeah, you mentioned that. I was just about to say, you probably just want to block that one. You try to pick it. Like I said, it's just too easy to carry him away like that.
Razkowski stays out on second. 2 outs. And Moran back at the plate. Big swing and a miss on a breaking ball, and now the count's 2-2. Moran waits for Dutkowski, who now comes set at the waist. The pitch lifted to the right side. That's going to find its way into the trees as well. And the count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, part of that being a hitter's park is if you can get it down that right field line, that's only 310 on the other side. It's not that much deep. It's 320 on the other side. You get a hold of one just right. Not too weird dimensions. You got a little bit of a mini wall up there.
Swing and a miss by Moran. The throw over to first in time by Cowball, and that will retire the side. So 1 man on in Razkowski as he's hit by a pitch, but the inning is ended by another Dutkowski strikeout. We're in the middle of the 4th. We'll be right back as Taylor tries to tack on some runs. You're watching Crossroads League Baseball on FDN Sports. Welcome back to Forest Glen Park. You see the bracket here for the Crossroads League Tournament hosted by Huntington University. And one of the most unique things about Huntington University and Forest Glen Park, you can get a free seat to a baseball game. As you see this gentleman sitting up on top of the hill, this park is located down in a bowl within the forest, or the woods you could call it. And you can come right over to the top of that hill, look down. Some people bring their dogs. Obviously he rode his bike over here and take in some really solid NAIA baseball this week.
Yeah, like we mentioned, I'm even better, and unfortunately, commencement was last week. Students have largely vacated campus, but oftentimes you'll see people out there with hammocks, students with hammocks. It's a wonderful experience for them as well. A couple times I was able to do that with some friends if I wasn't working.
Really cool athletic facilities, and obviously more to come in the gym for baseball, as this one's lifted way foul down the left field line. But you know, Platt Arena's getting a makeover, and so is the rest of the athletic facility. So really good things happening within the Crossroads League, and especially at Huntington University to come this year.
Yeah, driving past Platt Arena was certainly an experience, looking at it all ripped up and everything. A lot of memories in there for both of us, really. 4 years in Platt Arena for me, volleyball and basketball. You've been watching since you were a kid, was able to call games last year here.
Castle delivers the 3-1 right at the top of the zone, count 3-2. TJ Bass, the power hitter, batting 3rd today. Led the league in the regular season with 18 bombs. Fastball just low. And that is a leadoff walk as Bass finds his way on for the first time today.
Let's go, Vandy.
You know, sometimes there'll be 15 to 20 people sitting up on that hill, and probably more when Huntington University's playing. You get some of the locals coming in and checking out the game and bringing their dogs and keeping them up there. Just a very interesting way to watch a baseball game, but also that's what makes kind of Forest Glen unique.
It is. It's a gorgeous view up there, too. If we can get our equipment up there. Unfortunately, we can't do that, so we'll have to stick for the press box here, but it's a very nice press box.
The 1-0. Lifted into the air. This one's hit hard. Back on it is Lori in front of the warning track. Makes the grab. And that is going to be the first out as Bass retrieves back to first base.
Really like that base running by Bass. It kept carrying. He was going to risk it a little bit. Not going to risk it too much, staying right by that second base bag. If for any reason it would have dropped, he could have probably grabbed third there. Give himself just enough of a comfort room, how deep the ball was hit, that he can retreat back to first jogging.
Yeah, Vandermolen got a lot of that one, but it's deep out there, 400 to center field. If you want to poke one out of here, down the line's your best chance. David steps in, and Razkowski stabs that one a little too low. Count 1-0.
Unless your name is Adrian Perez, in that case you can hit that back track there. He's done it a couple times. It was a sight to see.
That's a long ways out there in center field. Castle delivers. This one's ripped to center field, and it's down in front of Lori. Bass thinks about going to third, and now he will on the bobble, and he's going to pick up an extra 90 feet. So Lori comes up on the ball, bobbles it, and able to advance on the bobble by Lori is Bass, and now Taylor has a chance to put their first run on the board.
Yeah, a little bit of a misstep there by Lori. He did everything right until it was too late. Put his body down, had one knee down, was ready just to scoop that one, keep Bass at second, and then on the transfer just dropped it, and Bass making a perfect read. But 1 out, that double play does loom large.
Come on, Ben.
We've seen a few center fielders misplay some balls on the ground out in front of them. So another one added to the tally as Castle delivers. This one's ripped, but it's foul. And that's going to be strike number 1.
Right by our camera girl out there.
Yeah, we're hoping Lily was able to get out of the way. We'll see if she's okay over there. Castle sets the 0-1. This one's on the outside corner, strike 2. Cowball finds himself down 0-2 in the count. Castle looking for his third K of the day. Runners on first and third. The pitch. Breaking ball just outside. And the count moves to 1-2. Cowball 1 for 1 on the day. Base hit here gives Taylor their first run of the day. The pitch is going to come after the move to first. Those lefties obviously are hard to read on the mound, but also up here with that throw over to first base, just making sure that David's not going anywhere.
Yeah, I'm surprised David hasn't tried to go anywhere. It's not like they're going to try to pin him down. They could just advance it.
To the right side, Brunin over to the shortstop, Moran over to first and in time. A 4-6-3 double play. And the Spring Arbor defense continues to flash the leather.
Yeah, another really great play here. Just take a look at it. That one is scorched off the bat. Takes a good read on it, and he just barely scraped his foot across the bag. Really good play. Great pick at first. Everyone contributed on that play.
Into the 5th we go. 2-0, Spring Arbor.
The State Bank is a cornerstone of the community. Our banking building blocks were assembled in 1911 and haven't differed much since then. We still stay true to our local roots, aiming to support, uplift, and celebrate the citizens and businesses of Huntington. As proud lenders to and patrons of our local businesses, we make our community an even more prosperous place. And when you support local banking, you play an important role in Huntington's success stories. No matter what financial products you may need, your business is an invaluable opportunity for us to strengthen our relationship with Huntington, which we're fortunate enough to call home. Bippa State Bank is banking at its best. We believe in community banking.
Another great defensive play by Spring Arbor to end the 4th inning. They're still up 2 runs to nothing over the number 1 seed Taylor. It's been the defense that's kept them right there, Carson.
Yeah, absolutely. They've caught a couple good hits, a couple lucky breaks there on that triple to get 2 runs, and that's all they've needed so far. If they can keep playing defense like this, it's going to be tough down the stretch here. You have to probably trust your bullpen here in the next inning or 2. Maybe add a couple more insurance runs would be nice.
And Sean Castle out there is really saving himself a lot of pitches because of the triple play and the double plays that Spring Arbor has been able to turn. And if he can continue to get balls in play quick into counts, he keeps that pitch count down, and we'll see how long he can go.
Top of the 5th inning for the Cougars is number 23, the first baseman.
So Brock Mullins, we've seen him react well to some really big plays, shows a lot of emotion. He singled up the middle his first time up, and he'll face Dutkowski for the 2nd time. Takes a breaking ball in there for strike 1. Dutkowski has not pitched bad at all. 4 innings pitched, 2 earned, 3 Ks, no walks. The 0-1. Just a little too low, and the count now 1-1. Another really good pitcher's duel, though, going on with Spring Arbor up 2-0 in this game. Lifted to left center, coming over to make the play is the center fielder Bass. And first man up, first man down here in the top of the 5th for Spring Arbor.
Really good play in the outfield there. Kind of hit into the gap, got a good break on it.
That'll bring up Leathed. His first time up, he laid down a sac bunt to the left side, and that did lead to the first run of the day for Spring Arbor. This time he's swinging, fouls it over towards the Taylor dugout, strike 1.
Yeah, not much need a bunt here.
Leathed is playing left field today, wears number 2. Standing in the right side against the righty on the mound, Dutkowski. The pitch. Fastball outside corner, beautifully thrown there. And a nice presentation of that pitch by Cal Ball, and the count's 0-2. 0-2 pitch. Too far outside, and the count's 1-2. Dutkowski looking for another K. Here's the pitch. Lifted to the left side. This time back on it is Manning. A few steps back, and he makes another easy grab, but something to notice, the hitter there came out of the box, and he actually got to first base, and he's a little wobbly coming off the field, and Leathed actually was doing the same thing yesterday in the first game that we called. He was out in left field, really putting a lot of pressure on his right foot instead of his left, and we've seen him limping these first 2 days. So you got to wonder what's going on there as Dutkowski starts Spodowski here with a strike 1 at the top of the zone. Spodowski started the scoring for Spring Arbor with that triple to right center field. This time he takes another pitch, this one on the outside corner, and quickly it's 0-2. So Dutkowski has a chance to finish this top of the 5th like he did the top of the first. 1-2-3. Fastball too high. Count 1-2.
He thought about it though. He kind of started moving his bat. It was at his head.
Dutkowski working quickly. Breaking ball to the right side. Vandermolen has it. He's going to make the flip over, and Dutkowski steps on the bag. So after a few shaky innings from the Taylor starting pitcher, Matt Dutkowski has another 1-2-3 inning and a little help from his first baseman, Vandermolen. We head to the bottom of the 5th, halfway through this one. Taylor looking for some runs as Spring Arbor leads 2-0. back to Forest Glen Park. It is a pitcher's duel here in this 4th game of the Crossroads League tournament. First pitch in there for strike one. Sean Castle has really done a nice job here in this game to keep Taylor's offense at bay. He's obviously given up no runs so far as Glad steps in, who does not have an official at-bat on the day. He walked his first time up, but his defense has really helped him out there, turning some double plays and even a triple play as Glad takes a huge swing and a miss. And that triple play was really important for Spring Arbor because Taylor was threatening, and Spring Arbor able to get out a little bit of a jams. This one's bounced a little too short. Castle 2-2 now on Glad. Here's the pitch. Outside, popped up. Taking a look is Richie. I don't believe he has room, and he won't as he leans over the fence, but unable to make the grab, and now the count remains 2-2.
He certainly gave it a good effort. Not much you can do about that.
Take a look at this triple play that Spring Arbor was able to turn. It was just a sharp line drive right at the shortstop, Moran. He stepped on second base, made the throw over to Mullins, and that is how it is still 2-0 here in favor of Spring Arbor. Ground ball up the middle. That one's not going to be caught, and that'll be a leadoff single for Glad.
Yeah, really good piece of hitting there by Glad right at the middle. Not much either side of the infield could do. It's traveling so fast. No shift on. Take a look at it here. Gets a fastball a little bit outside.
Takes a lot of upper body strength and arm strength to be able to keep that ball right up the middle as it was pretty far outside, but Glad, a nice piece of hitting, has his first knock of the day and make it 3 for now Taylor. Castle sets in the pitch, lifted right side out of play. Count 0-1. And the man at the plate is Braden Manning, who we just showed you lined into that triple play. So he's thinking he's got to have some pretty bad luck right now to make 3 outs on one swing, and really he hit the ball hard, so nothing he could do about it. Good block by Ruskowski.
Yeah, that ball was absolutely scorched. I mean, another inch or two, that wasn't going anywhere, but those are the breaks sometimes.
And sometimes a team like Spring Arbor, who's the 6th seed, needs something like that to take down the top seed in the tournament as Manning looks at a strike. And other than that, I mean, Spring Arbor has made some really good defensive plays on double plays as well, and turning those and finding ways to get outs. Manning lifts this one, and that won't be caught by Moran as it's into center field for a single. And that time he hit it hard again, and Moran was unable to hop up high enough for that one, and Manning now feels like the luck's back on his side.
Yeah, that was just a scorcher here. Take a look at it. That one just curved right into the zone. Not much you can do about there if you're a man. And now we got a mound visit. See if they're, I'm not sure is anybody warming up, but a very dangerous situation. Highly unlikely you're going to find your way into 2 triple plays in one game.
I'm assuming they're going to talk about the possibility of the 9-hole hitter Ben Kennedy laying down a sacrifice bunt. Because if Taylor could move over those 2 runners, they're a swing away from tying this up on probably a base hit. And if they can do that, they'll be feeling good about, you know, coming back into this game and remaining as the top seed. Throughout this game, it will be important to note that no matter what has happened in the previous games, the top seed in each game will be the home team. So even if Taylor loses today, they'll be the top seed no matter who they play. They'll be the top seed and they'll remain as the home team. So Huntington tomorrow, when they play, since they are the top seed remaining, they will be the home team. So whoever the top seed is in the game will be the home team, and we'll get the final at-bats, which we know sometimes really pays off.
Absolutely. If you want to hit a walk-off in the conference tournament, you got something to tell your kids about.
Sean Castle right now is trying to get back into the rhythm on the mound as the shortstop Ben Kennedy steps in. A change on the base paths, it looks like, for Taylor. They brought in Drew Loy to run over at first base for Manning, and Manning will be able to re-enter. We saw that yesterday. The pitch. Kennedy does try to lay down the bunt, but it's fouled straight back.
That's a huge first strike. There was a lot of contact. That's probably what they were discussing. Hey, throw your fastball. Make him get some contact on it. Especially if he pops that up.
Castle for sure wants to make sure he at least gets one out on this bunt if Kennedy does indeed lay it down. Pulls back in time. Count 1-1.
Yeah, I'd like to see just rocket it down the middle if you can. Get some contact on it. See if you can get him to pop it up, perhaps the top of the zone.
Yeah, just find a way to get an out here if you're on the mound and you're Castle, because you've got Camden Knepp up next. And Razkowski's going to take a time and step out, make sure his defense is all on the same page. We'll resettle back behind the plate. Castle back on the mound, now comes Set. This is a big situation here for the Taylor offense. Thinking about a little pick play there, but nothing happening.
You're trying to send Mullins in there. Like trying to lay it down the first base side. It's probably going to bring in third base too. If it goes down either line, you can try to get that pick play like you said, get the lead runner.
Bunt is down. Mullins will field it. The second baseman Brunin over there, and a successful sac bunt for Kennedy has pushed the runners up to second and third for Taylor.
That was a perfect bunt. Not much more you can ask for. Take a look at it here. They looked like they were trying to pull some trickery. One bounce, didn't hit the plate. Nothing you can do. Just has to go for the lead runner. The first runner, my apologies.
So a good play there by Mullins, and now that brings up the leadoff man Knepp. Yet to get a hit today, but he was hit by a pitch his first time up, and the lefty Castle will choose to go from the windup. The pitch. Knepp takes breaking ball just a little low, and the count's 1-0. The other time up, Knepp struck out. If Castle could get a strikeout here, he's got to feel good about his chances getting out of this inning. The pitch. This one on the outside corner. Counts 1-1.
Well, Trojans fans not too happy about that one. Just got enough of it. Enough of the corner there.
The pitch. This one's too low. And the count's 2-1.
That you got to take into effect how the game's been called already. That corner's been very favorable all day long. So if you're a hitter, you got to think about that.
Castle trying to get out of another tough situation. The pitch. Knepp takes again, and this time it's called a ball on that outside corner. And a very favorable count now for Camden Knepp at 3-1. Looked like a similar pitch to the one called a strike earlier. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, and that's strike number 2, and now the count is full at 3-2. Castle looking for a strikeout. Knepp looking to put the Trojans on the board. Outside, and now the bases are loaded.
Yeah, that was potentially the biggest pitch of the game right there. You get the out there, that's huge. But now all you got to think about is trying to get a roller and try to gun down the lead runner.
And now you've got the leading hitter in all the Crossroads League. It is Caleb Colpine stepping up to the plate. He's got it done all year long, batting .426. And right now a pretty big chance for either Castle to get out of it or Colpine to put the Trojans on the board. Colpine will put the Trojans on the board. A 2-run single to left field has tied this game up. The leading hitter in the conference continues to do what he's done all year long.
Yeah, really good piece of hitting there. Got the ground ball they wanted, just not where you wanted it. Quite possibly had the third baseman playing up. If you'd have been playing back, there might have been a chance. Not much you can do there.
And Leith had really charged that ball hard, but really no chance to throw out that second runner at the plate.
Yeah, Rakowski looking a little disappointed there.
Now you got Bass at the plate, led the league in home runs this year. First pitch, fastball, outside corner, strike 1. It was Manning who came around and scored on that 2-run single from Colpine. Glad also scored.
Chris Bringhart right now just got to stop the bleeding.
The pitch. Fouled straight over the top of our heads, and the count's 0-2.
If you can get Bass out, that puts you in a good position, especially because you don't have to worry about one out, and you get that dangerous one swing. This is a whole other ball game.
0-2 count on TJ Bass.
Probably try
John
against
Castle. The pitch. Big swing and a miss at a ball in the turf. And that is a big strikeout, just like you were saying. Get him to chase, and that's exactly what he did.
Yeah, take a look at it right here. Try to get him something outside the zone. He falls for it. It's a good breaking ball. It looked like it was never even a strike, but it broke just enough. He thought he could take some contact on it, give it a ride. No can do. 2 outs.
Vander Molen steps in. He's got a lot of power as well with those 12 home runs on the year. He hit a long fly ball to center his last time up. The pitch. Too far outside. Count 1-0. Knepp over on second. At first, after the 2-run single, is Colpine. Spring Arbor tries to get out of this inning and at least stay locked at 2. Vander Molen takes one right at the bottom of the zone, and the count evens up at 1-1. Taylor with 2 more hits than Spring Arbor, but the run's the same. Spring Arbor with 1 error on the day, however. Little up and over move by Castle. Nothing happening out on second. Bottom of 5, 2-2 game, 1-1 count. The pitch. Shot down the left field line, but foul. And the count's 1-2.
A lot of Cougar fans' hearts just probably sunk to the bottom of their toes there for a minute. That thing was straight. You would have had to not even given it a courtesy look. It was gone.
Yeah, he hammered that one, but just way too far foul. Here's the 1-2 from Castle. Lifted to the right side. This one is going to find its way out of play. And the count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Spring Arbor got a pitcher in the bullpen. We'll probably see.
Yeah, Castle now up to 85 pitches. So.
Yeah, if you're Castle right here, it's 1-2. You got to give it all you got. This is probably your last batter.
Yeah, I don't think they'd try to stretch him out anymore unless, you know, maybe they're thinking maybe 1 more inning. This one's too wide, and the count is 2-2.
The benefit there is that if he does go 1 more inning, you do get the bottom of the order. So if you can get them out, you might be over 100 pitches, but you can send some fresh arms up there against the top 3.
Big pitch coming now. Lifted to the right side. In on it is Redfield. Run a long way, and he's able to make the catch. But not before the Taylor Trojans get a 2-run single from the leading hitter in the Crossroads League Conference. Caleb Colpine ties it up as we head to the top of the 6th. He's done it all year long, and now the #1 seed right there with Spring Arbor. We'll be right back for the 6th inning on FDN Sports.
As the owner of JJ's, I invite you to visit one of our 7 BP convenience stores. And when you do, I expect you will experience hometown excellence in the cleanest and friendliest convenience stores in your community. Please also consider visiting JJ Java for the best cup of coffee in town, or JJ's Pit Stop for a quick, no appointment necessary professional oil change. Also, if you ever need a clean and efficient environment in which to do laundry, JJ's washroom is ready to serve you.
It's a brand new ball game between the #1 seed Taylor and the 6th seed Spring Arbor. Locked up at 2-2 as we head into the top of the 6th, over halfway home. If you guys are watching at home, feel free to stop by this weekend as we've got games again tomorrow, Saturday, and then championship Monday. As you look at the bracket here, Taylor wins this one. They would move on to face the loser of Indiana Wesleyan and St. Francis. And even if Spring Arbor moves on, that would be the same situation for them, as you see the Cougar dugout there getting a few snacks in and trying to stay loose as they are right there with the #1 team in the Crossroads League. Spring Arbor looking to pull a big upset here today.
Something Spring Arbor and Mount Vernon have to contend with every game.
Hard ground ball down the third base line. Knepp with a long throw, and what a pick over at first base by Vander Molen.
Yeah, you keep the leadoff runner there. leadoff hitter off the base pass with that one. That was all the way across the diamond. Let's take a look at it here. This one was just absolutely ripped. Took a hard bounce. Got it just fair. Had to go a long way. He was barreling down to first base. Nothing he can do after that beautiful pick. He's out. It's a huge out for Taylor.
And that's the leadoff man, Brunin, getting down the line. Defense showing up now for the Taylor Trojans as well.
As I was saying before, Spring Arbor, Mount Vernon, they have to drive a long ways to go to these games sometimes. So they always have to contend with that. Sleep's going to be huge for these guys coming up in these next few days.
Thankfully, as Richie takes one too low for ball 2. And the appeal down to first is still a ball. Thankfully for those two sides, Spring Arbor and Mount Vernon, they did make it to day 2. So now they at least get to play today. Mount Vernon already played, and tomorrow. So the two teams have to travel the furthest, get to stick around a little longer than, say, the Bethel and Grace, who lost yesterday and were eliminated from the tournament. Dudkowski waits for Richie to reset in the box. The big righty now is ready to come from the windup. Richie takes on the inside corner for a strike. Count 2-2.
Yeah, that one just clipped the plate. He tried to sell it. Sometimes it's tough there on those breaking balls or a fastball. You think it's coming at you, get out of the way, and nothing you can really do about it at that point.
2-2 pitch. Dudkowski looking for another K. Lifted to the right side. In on it is the right fielder, Colpine, but it drops down in front. It's another base hit for a really good hitter in Bryce Ritchie.
He's got some speed, too. We'll see if they try to move him over. It's going to be risky. Take a look at it here. Not too much contact on it, but does get it to fall. Sometimes you prefer those. Obviously, you like the ball to leave the park, however, but if you get the opportunity just to get a soft little blooper, unofficial term, but a fun one to say, you get the ball down, you get a base runner.
We will see the first visit of the day by a Taylor Trojan staff member. And Dudkowski, who's really pitched around some trouble, but has been pretty crisp here today, has held Spring Arbor to those 2 runs. And right now, maybe just a little chat about, we're looking for you to get through this inning. If you can get through this inning, you put us in a really good spot to come away with this victory.
Yeah, with that bullpen, just want to stop the bleeding here. That first out, a lot bigger now, especially.
Here we go, Matt.
Might have been able to turn 2 there. And no, they wouldn't have as a fly ball. They would have had runners on first and second now. Had the possibility to butt them down. So that first out and that great defensive play is coming up huge right now.
Laurie at the plate takes a fastball on the inside part of the plate for strike 1. Laurie in the regular season had a pretty nice performance all year long. Started all 44 games, hit .323 and knocked in 32 runs as he took a ball in the dirt, or the turf, you could say. Nice block there by Cowball.
That was a constant conversation with Ryan and I last year. You say turf, you're so used to saying dirt, but
all I know is I wouldn't want all those beads from the turf stuck in my shoes after the game. I'm sure the catcher deals with that all day long. Laurie takes a ball too high, and now the count's 2-1.
I called a lacrosse game at Indiana Tech, and I wore my white shoes, and they had turf, and those white shoes are no longer white. I tell you that much.
That's a bummer. 2-1. Dudkowski set. The pitch to Laurie. Just outside, and the count's 3-1. So a good hitter's count here for Laurie. He's 0 for 2 on the day. But he does have a little pop in that bat, and Richie, a pretty good base runner over at first. A ball in the gap, you'd think Spring Arbor is going to be aggressive against the best team in the conference. The pitch. Laurie lifts it up. This will stay in the infield. And over to make the catch is Kennedy. So a big out there by Dudkowski, and he's only at 75 pitches. So if he's able to, 79 pitches I should say, if he's able to sneak this out quickly, you can probably give him one more, especially since he's going through the middle of this Spring Arbor lineup right now.
Yeah, you certainly consider it.
Here we go, Matt.
It just depends on how much trust you have in your bullpen. Like I aforementioned, there's a lot of games left, but you want to save those bullpen arms for as much as you can in case you get into a situation.
Razkowski at the plate takes a big hack, but comes up empty. Still Richie over at first base after that single to right field. We're in the top of the 6th. Good ball game between the 6th seed Spring Arbor and the Taylor Trojans, the 1 seed. Razkowski takes wide, and the count evens up at 1-1.
Bullpen incredibly important. Remember last year during the championship game, Huntington did go to the loser's bracket against Taylor, and they had to go play the next morning, and were almost out of arms at that point.
Good read there by Ritchie, and no throw from the catcher Cowball. And Ritchie swipes second base on the wild pitch.
Yeah, really risky there. Once again, that one, another breaking ball, got in front of it. That one just took a bad bounce. He might have had a chance to at least throw it down there. He wasn't exactly burning as fast as I thought he would. They're going to intentionally walk him.
Yeah, and so because Ritchie took second base, they're on that ball in the dirt or the turf, whichever we're going to decide on. Dudkowski and his coaching staff decide to put Razkowski on first. It's kind of a fun matchup, Dudkowski and Razkowski.
Yeah.
Interesting names here in the Crossroads League Baseball Tournament.
If you want to pull Ryan and I, we always said Durf. You can combine the two.
Yeah, that's a fun term to think of. See if that's in the baseball dictionary at the end of the year, as Redfield takes it a little too far outside. Redfield, as I mentioned in the pregame, had a really nice game yesterday. 2 for 3 and 3 runs knocked in.
He would like a couple more right here.
If he could be the hero 2 days in a row, it'd feel pretty good for his confidence and for his team. Breaking ball fouled down the right field line into the first base dugout of Spring Arbor. And the count's 1-1.
Here we go, Matt.
You just never know in a tournament like this if that top team can hold on for 5 or 4 straight days. The pitch right down the middle, and the count's 1-2.
The big take there was a really fast ball. Really, really fast, and he decided to take it. He's going to have to battle here. Probably watch something outside of the zone on the 1-2 count. A risky take, but one you probably have to lay off of.
The 1-2 pitch. Fastball lifted up behind the infield. Mason David back on it. The second baseman makes the catch, and Dudkowski dodges a bullet. So in the top of the 6th, Spring Arbor puts 2 base runners on, but nothing to show for it as Redfield pops this one straight up in the air. We head to the bottom of the 6th. Taylor looking to take their first lead of the day. We'll be right back on FDN Sports.
This is how we like to do it.
We are back at Forest Glen Park for the bottom of the 6th. It is the Taylor Trojans looking to take their first lead of the day against the 6th seed, the Cougars out of Spring Arbor, Michigan. Spring Arbor, obviously one of the longest trips as you take a look, and it's still the starting pitcher, Sean Castle, out there on the mound. And that Taylor dugout right now, you know, they come in with expectations of winning this tournament. They know that they're the regular season champs, but if they can make it 2 for 2, they have all the confidence of the world, and they're hosting an NAIA tournament round as well.
Yeah, second year in a row they've done that. That's going to be huge home field advantage. They unfortunately did get knocked off in the first round last year. Once you have home field advantage, you know it's always nice. As you know, we got to go to Alabama last year. You got to go to Louisiana this year, the basketball team. But it's a long ride for a lot of these teams. You get the opportunity just to stay home. You know, obviously you might miss a whole experience, but if you want to win, that's going to be huge.
So Sean Castle's back out there with 91 pitches. He'll start the bottom of the 6th for Spring Arbor. First pitch, David rips towards the shortstop. Moran caught it on the fly, so another great defensive play by Spring Arbor, and it's a quick out here in the bottom of the 6th.
Yeah, take a look at this one here. Like you said, just kind of ripped it. That one took a rapid descent. Made a good play on it.
Maybe a little bit of top spin on that ball from David. That sinking liner's caught as first pitch is way too far inside for ball 1.
We're just talking about, you saw the pebbles or whatever you want to call them in the turf just absolutely bounce up there.
Yeah, you never know how quick that ball might react on the turf, but you typically know you're going to get a pretty true bounce when you're fielding it. This one's popped up behind home plate and out of play. Count 1-1. Castle has faced a lot of base runners. He's walked 4 guys, struck out 3, just the 2 earned in 5 1/3. Pitch to the left side, shortstop there, Moran. He's going to throw it over in time to first base, and 2 really quick outs here for Castle.
That's exactly what he needed at that high pitch count. Now it's just the biggest out right here. You get out of this one, you go to the 7th, hand it over to your bullpen. Try to get your offense moving a little bit, but he's been brilliant against this high-powered offense.
Sam Glad will come up now. He's been on both times today. Last time up, he reached out and singled up the middle against the lefty Castle. We'll see if Castle can finish this bottom of the 6th. First pitch to Glad is outside. Really nice day again here at Forest Glen Park. Looking for another one tomorrow. Saturday looks beautiful. Monday, a chance of rain, though, as I'm sure the Crossroads League commissioners and baseball teams don't want to hear that, as that's the day of the championship. So hopefully the weather holds off as Castle gets a big swing and a miss from Glad. I'm telling you, if Castle can get through this inning, that is a really sharp performance by this Spring Arbor lefty. Here's the chance for it now. Fastball too far out. Count 2-2.
Oh, and he probably was trying to get in the chase there. Really could have used that one. Not meant to be. Like you said, just get out of it and to the bullpen.
2-2 pitch for Sean Castle. Too far outside again. Now they count 3-2.
And not exactly sure where they want him to throw here, but quickly battling back into this count. You really just want to see him get this one over the plate if you're Spring Arbor, because if he walks him, that's another batter. You don't want to get a non-fresh arm out there.
It's a breaking ball at the top of the zone, and it is strike 3 called. Sean Castle, a huge performance here today for the Cougars as he delivers a breaking ball right at the top of the zone, and he has finished a complete 6 innings. We'll be right back. It's a 2-2 ball game for the top of the 7th.
Bippa State Bank is a cornerstone of the community. Our banking building blocks were assembled in 1911 and haven't differed much since then. We still stay true to our local roots, aiming to support, uplift, and celebrate the citizens and businesses of Huntington. As proud lenders to and patrons of our local businesses, we make our community an even more prosperous place. And when you support local banking, you play an important role in Huntington's success stories. No matter what financial products you may need, your business is an invaluable opportunity for us to strengthen our relationship with Huntington, which we're fortunate enough to call home. Bippa State Bank is banking at its best. We believe in community banking.
We've got a good one today in Forest Glen Park for Game 4 of the 2023 Crossroads League Championship. Dutkowski still out there for the Taylor Trojans. These two sides have really battled back and forth all day. Spring Arbor scored 2 runs in the top of the 3rd, but then Taylor responded with a 2 spot of their own in the bottom of the 5th, and that's how we are here. And Dutkowski, the best starting pitcher for Taylor, delivers the first pitch in the 7th inning. Breaking ball too low to Moran. Just made a few putouts there in the top of the 6th. Bottom of the 6th, excuse me. Dutkowski delivers. Moran takes on the inside corner. Count evens up at 1-1.
Both coaches giving their pitchers a long leash today.
Yeah, in a game like today where it feels like you want to stay in that winner's bracket, you might let your starting pitcher go a little longer than they have all year long. And, you know, if Dutkowski gets Taylor a win here today, you think, you know, rest up for Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, 3 days of rest, he might be back out there for the championship game. It all depends on what they're feeling as this ground ball is hit to the first baseman, and a good flip over in time from Vandermolen to Dutkowski retires Moran.
Yeah, really risky play there. He kind of, if you take a look at the replay here, he barely got his foot on the bag. He was hustling down the first base line, ranging to his opposite side, got the underhand flip there, had to go back for it, and If his shoe was a little bit smaller, he would have missed the base.
Yeah, able to get over there and step on the bag. Mullins now up, the first baseman for Spring Arbor. 1 for 2 on the day. Takes a curveball in the outside corner for strike 1. Dutkowski battled hard in those first few innings, and now he's got a chance to go 7 really strong innings as he delivers one a little too high. Count 1-1. The righty delivers the pitch. Way in, and Mullins able to duck out of the way, just avoiding getting hit by that pitch.
You know, a lot of inside pitches today from the Trojans. I don't think there's even been a hit by pitch yet, but a lot of close ones.
Mullins does stand awfully close to that plate. His right back foot nearly on the line as he rips this one foul out of play. And the count's 2-2. Infield pretty much straight up here. Bass maybe shaded slightly to the left of second base in the outfield. Breaking ball again into the Taylor dugout and diving out of the way several of their staff and players. Got to have quick reaction time if you're standing in one of those dugouts down the line at Forest Glen Park. Dutkowski looking for his 4th K of the day, and he just misses. Check swing is a no swing, and the count is 3-2. Mullins 1 for 2 on the day, looking to get on once again. The pitch inside, and it's a walk, and Mullins is on for the second time today. And Dutkowski puts his second batter on via the base on balls.
That check swing was huge. They really thought, Trojan fans thought they had the strikeout there. No can do. Got him on the inside. Now you got a base runner on.
Leathed up at the plate. And we're waiting to see what's going on here as the third base coach and the head man for Spring Arbor runs through some signs. Leathed up. Did have a sac bunt earlier in the day. He's 0 for 1. The pitch. Looking to bunt again. This one's too far outside.
We'll see what he can do. He's got some speed on him. That's really risky, though, with 1 out. If there was no outs, I certainly would take that. But with 1 out, you obviously could stay out of the double play, which is another inherent risk you take. But if you want to try to leg this one out, that might be the best option.
Looking to bunt again. He pulls back, and a nice block back there by Cowball.
Let's go, Matt.
And the count's 2-0.
Not even sure if Taylor's going to try to give him something here. They might just, both of those were well outside the zone. Not like they're going to intentionally walk him, but you'd imagine if they're just going to try to keep the runner from going to second.
2-0, still showing bunt. This time, Dutkowski finds the corner, and it's 2-1.
Once again, a little bit farther outside. Like you said, just hit the corner.
Let's go, Matt.
Very interesting for them to leave the sac bunt on with 1 out. We'll see if that stays on here. It is. Leathed gets it down. Catcher out in front, Cowball gets it off of one hop and makes the throw over to Vandermolen. And Leathed, for the second time today, puts down a successful sacrifice bunt.
Yeah, really, really risky right there. We'll see. Right here, it was a little bit curved in, took a high bounce. Easy enough for the catcher to play. Didn't even have to flip his mask off. Threw it down to the first baseman. Easy play. I'm a little, we'll see. They could easily prove me wrong, but I'm a little baffled by that one at the moment. Need to try to take a rip at it.
Jake Spodowski is now at the plate. He's got an RBI triple on the day. From the 9-hole, looking to beat Dutkowski again on this at bat as he takes first pitch fastball on the outside corner. Dutkowski now up to 103 pitches. So using a lot of bullets here today.
You got to give everything you have on this batter.
0-1 lifted to the left side. Roaming over is Knepp, but it'll make its way out of play.
Whatever you got in the tank here, 2 strikes,
Go, Matt.
you got to throw it. Maybe if you want one or two more pitches, try to give him the chase. But if you get to 2-2, just whatever you got in the tank, throw it right to him in the strike zone.
Matt.
2 outs, 2 strikes. Spodowski at the plate. Dutkowski on the mound. Top of the 7th, biggest pitch of the day. Fastball outside corner, and Spadowski goes down looking. Dutkowski gets out of trouble again as he uses his fastball and a little bit of paint on the outside corner. We'll be right back. It's the 7th inning stretch, 2-2 game between Taylor and Spring Arbor.
As the owner of JJ's, I invite you to visit one of our 7 BP convenience stores. And when you do, I expect you will experience hometown excellence in the cleanest and friendliest convenience stores in the community. Please also consider visiting JJ Java for the best cup of coffee in town, or JJ's Pit Stop for a quick, no appointment necessary professional oil change. Also, if you ever need a clean, efficient environment in which to do laundry, JJ's washroom is ready to serve.
Back at Forest Glen Park, we'll give you another look at the Crossroads League bracket. Right now, Taylor and Spring Arbor playing in the 1-6 matchup. Give you a few replays here from the starting pitcher for the Spring Arbor Cougars today. Sean Castle had everything going here today. He threw a really solid game, got through 6 pretty good innings, struck out a couple, found a way through some jams. His defense really helped him. And now on to pitch is Ryan Ruhlman, first out of the bullpen. Ruhlman is a big righty, 6'4", 230 pounds, out of North Branch, Michigan. He is just a sophomore, and he's had an okay year so far. He's thrown in 29 innings, 16 appearances, one of them being a start. He's 2-3 with a 6.52 ERA, and his job is to keep this Taylor offense under control. He's pitched twice against Taylor already this season, once on March 9th and March 11th. He went 2 2/3 and just 1/3 in the other outing and has given up a handful of runs. So Ruhlman in there now, and his task will be getting Braden Manning out to start the bottom of the 7th. Pitch, too low, 1-0. Manning with an interesting day at the plate. He's lined into a triple play, and he's also singled over the shortstop's head. Another one too low, count 2-0. Manning waits with the bat lifted. Ruhlman sets. Here's the pitch. Right down the middle, 2-0 strike, and the count's 2-1. Same defense behind Ruhlman as was out there for Castle. Ruhlman's pitch. Line over the leaping grab of Ritchie. All the way to the left fielder, Leathed. Big turn from Manning, but he'll stay at first base, and the leadoff man's on here in the bottom of the 7th.
Yeah, he thought he was toast. That one was absolutely scorched over his head. Not much he can do there. He tried his best, really, but he almost had it.
Yeah, Manning has hit 3 balls today extremely hard, all line drives. One of them, unfortunately, was a triple play for him. The other 2 have led to singles.
Yep. See if we see a sacrifice bunt here. Manning, not the fastest guy in the world. They are going to go for it.
Kennedy definitely showed, but then pulled back.
Here we go, 3-1.
And his coaching staff encouraging him to get this down. Kyle Gold over at third base. He's the head coach his 19th season. He just told Kennedy, come on now, get this bunt down, and he watches the ball too wide. Continues to go through. They don't use signs as much anymore, but they use the wristband, kind of like a quarterback has plays, and lets the batter and base runner know what he would like them to do. As you can see from that angle, 2 more Spring Arbor arms getting loose over in the bullpen. Kennedy showing bunt again. He bunts through it. Now the count's 2-2.
Tried to jab that one down the first base line. Nothing going there. Now he's got to take a hack at it.
Cannot try to bunt with 2 strikes and bunt it foul unless you want to strike out. And he's going to try, and he bunts through it. So that is a strikeout for Ruhlman.
I get you have 1 out. I'd still try to take a hack at that one. If you strike out on a swing, so be it. But I'm not so sure how I feel about that one. Might just want to take that one there, take a hack at it. I know you risked a double play, but once again, so be it.
That'll bring up the leadoff man, Camden Knapp. He's 0 for 1 today. He struck out once, and Landon Raskowski wants to go talk to his new pitcher, Ryan Ruhlman.
Yeah, see what they can do here, see if there's any potential. You want to get the ground ball here. If you can get out of this inning as fast as you can, that'll be ideal.
Yeah, Knapp is one of the better hitters in the conference throughout this season. He comes in today batting .340. The next man up, though, is the best hitter in the conference, and Caleb Colby. And he has a chance to, come up again in a big spot as this Taylor offense is kind of just waiting for their offense to start carrying them like it has all year long. You talk about them scoring over 9 runs per game, I should say. And they've been really solid all year long. Right now, just only 2 against Spring Arbor, though.
Yeah, that just that says a lot about Castle and the performance he had today. You really think about it. You really got to get out of this. But if the floodgates break, that's why you got 2 arms in the bullpen right now. Because once the seal's cracked, the Taylor offense will start flooding.
Yep, and Ruhlman delivers first pitch ball too far outside to Knapp. Does have 1 strikeout on the day, was hit by a pitch as well. Here's the 1-0. Too far outside again. So those 2 arms still getting loose down the right field line for Spring Arbor. If Ruhlman can't retire Knapp, I would not be surprised to see a change. Pitch. Lifted to the left side. It's going to find its way out of play. And now the count is 2-1. Ruhlman sets at the waist once again. Here's the pitch. Too far outside, count 3-1. So Ruhlman does have a little bit of an inflated ERA on the year. And this is the first guy that Spring Arbor staff wanted to go with, and we'll see if he can work around this 3-1 count. The pitch. Too far outside, and it's a walk. You never want to walk batters in a tight game like this, but especially when the league leader, Caleb Colpine, is coming up to the plate. And the last time he was at the plate, he's the reason why Taylor has 2 runs on the scoreboard, a 2-run single to the left side.
That's a huge walk, and they're leaving him out there. They're going to trust him, like you said, a little bit of an inflated ERA. No, they're not. They're going to take him out, it looks like, or have a serious conversation.
I would assume
go to the pen.
That this might lead to the pen as Ruhlman's going to head out. He faces 3 batters. He gives up a single. He gets one of the batters out and then walks another. So it'll be another bullpen pitcher here. And I believe it might be the same man we saw yesterday in Spring Arbor's game. We'll wait to see who the new pitcher is. It looks like it's number 38, Brant Mullins. He came in and pitched a little bit yesterday for Spring Arbor. And right now, he's just trying to calm down this rally and get the Cougars back into the dugout and hopefully back up to the plate.
Yeah, you do have the 1 out, which is nice. You can always try to work around that. If it was no outs, this would be a much more dire situation. But you have the opportunity here.
Brant Mullins is a 6'3" senior out of Flat Rock, Michigan. Went to Calvin University previously. And so he is back here at Spring Arbor pitching. On the year, he's got 44 innings pitched, 4.26 ERA, and he just went 2 2/3 yesterday with 5 strikeouts. So they're willing to go back to Mullins and see if he can get a couple big outs and then maybe give him a little length out of the bullpen as well.
Yeah, that would be nice if maybe you can try to get him to close this game out. He did 2 2/3 yesterday. It's going to be tough to do it again.
Ryan and I were talking about Brant Mullins yesterday when he came in. In the game before yesterday, which would have been April 27th, he went 8 innings against Indiana Wesleyan and gave up 1 earned. So right now, he's feeling very good on the mound. If you look at his last handful of outings, the most he's given up is 1 earned and a couple of zeros in between. So he's got a chance to come out, slow down this rally from Taylor, and hopefully give his team a chance there in the top of the 8th.
Yeah, that's a benefit you have in the tournament. You can turn your starters into relievers or vice versa if you need some length. That's what he's going to try to give him here, but he's in a bit of a jam, and he's going to have to play hero here.
So 2 Mullins on the field now. Brant on the mound. Brock at first for Spring Arbor. And Colpine at the plate. The 2-run single is last time up. League leader in hitting, 426 in the regular season. Brant Mullins, first pitch of the afternoon. Fastball outside corner, strike 1.
Here we go.
Mullins with an interesting arm angle. Kind of drops down a little bit, doesn't stay on top of the ball, but obviously very effective anytime he gets a chance to step on the mound. The 1. To the right side, could be 2. Brunin onto Moran, to first in time. A 4-6-3 double play again, and Brant Mullins gets his team right out of trouble.
That's exactly what they needed. Take a look at this one here. Just a soft hit right to the second baseman, flipped it over, good play there, shuffle across the bag, and just barely another step, that might have did it.
So that'll take us to the top of the 8th. We're still locked at 2 between the Taylor Trojans and the Spring Arbor Cougars. It is a 2-2 game, and a big reason why is Matt Dukowski pitched a wonderful game against Spring Arbor here today. He went 7 strong, 4 strikeouts, 2 walks, 2 earned, and he will hand it over to a new pitcher, a 6-foot, 220-pound junior out of West Lafayette, Indiana, Jack Ross, who's been rock solid this year as well. He's got 7 saves, 5 wins, no losses, and a 3.08 ERA. So you got to think this is one of Taylor's top guns out of the bullpen.
Yeah, that's exactly what they need. They're trying to hold this thing down and once again trust their offense.
Second baseman, number 6, Aiden Brunin.
Dukowski put together a really strong performance. You look up at the scoreboard, he got beat up for those 2 runs in the 3rd, but then the rest of the way he was really stinking solid, and that's a reason why Spring Arbor just has 2 runs. First pitch of the day for Ross is a big swing and the miss from the batter Brunin.
In games like this, you can look back if you are the winning team or the losing team, and if the Trojans can't pull this one out, that Bass little bobble there in the outfield would be a huge one to sleep on tonight.
So Ross, another righty, faces Brunin, who's 1 for 3 and a run knocked in today. He struck out as well. It's only 2 runs on 4 hits and 1 error for Spring Arbor. 2 runs, 6 hits for Taylor. Another pitch outside, counts 2-1. Brunin has really been in the middle of a lot of fun defensive plays today. He started 2 double plays over to second. Now he needs to start a rally for his Spring Arbor team. Here's a good chance. Ball to the left center gap, and it's down. Manning up on it, and that'll hold Brunin to a single, but leadoff man on against a really good Taylor reliever.
That is absolutely exactly what Spring Arbor needed. Probably go for the sacrifice bunt here, right into the gap. Not much either of them could do about it. Thought about it, just decided to cruise down the line, realizes he might get another chance. Not the fastest guy in the world. Don't really want to gun it like that right away. Risk being out. That one was pretty shallow.
At top of the order for Spring Arbor has a chance to do something special here today against the number 1 seed in the Crossroads League. The 1 seed is Taylor, 6 seed being the away team today on the scoreboard, Spring Arbor. And a little chat here between Bryce Ritchie and his head coach over at third base, Ryan Markin, in his 6th year at Spring Arbor. Ritchie is one of the best hitters in the Crossroads League. He batted well over 300 and make it over 400 in the regular season. Looking to bunt, pulls back, ball 1.
Yeah, I thought they might go for that sacrifice there. Might be a smart play. Like with no outs, that's kind of the smartest choice there.
Ritchie waits at the plate. He's 1 for 3 on the day. Over at first is Brunin. The pitch lifted to the right side. Colpine back on it, makes the grab right in front of the track, and Ritchie is retired.
That was a great hit right there. A little bit of an unfortunate break. That was just carried for a little bit. Gave him enough time to track that one down. He pulled it in right in front of Norm out there.
It looks like there were some changes defensively in the middle of that 7th to 8th inning, after the bottom of the 7th, I should say. So it looks like Manning stayed in left. Pashadi is now in center, and Bass went to right. And Colpine, who was playing right to start the game, is now the DH. So just a few changes there to freshen you up on. And Jack Ross is the new pitcher on the mound. He's gotten 1 out and given up a single as well. Laurie at the plate. Here's the 0-1. To the right side, it's going to be David only having 1 play, and it's to first. And it's in time, and now there's 2 outs with the runner on second.
That was a really good play by Manning there. He didn't start gunning it right away. He kind of waited up. He saw that ball was coming right at him. He kind of interfered with play just a little bit. Slowed up right off the bag. Decided to get in front of the ball. Not knock it down, obviously, but kind of block the view of the second baseman so he could take that lead run. But now a huge opportunity here for Spring Arbor.
And they're going to put Razkowski on first base once again and try to deal with the next hitter in the lineup in Redfield. So Redfield has had several chances here today to come up with the big swing. He did it yesterday and potentially can be the hero again today.
Rakowski getting the Ichiro treatment today, just keeps getting put on base, or the Barry Bonds treatment, whatever you want to go with.
Yeah,
but
he continues to be sent down to first base before even facing any pitches at all. So Redfield might be the guy that has to come up with the big hit. The pitch, too far outside, count 2-0. And it's not like Redfield is a bad hitter at all. It's just Razkowski is one of the top hitters across the entire nation, let alone the Crossroads League. And so they want to take their chances with Redfield at the plate. 2 for 3 yesterday, 3 runs knocked in. 2-0 pitch is too high, and the count's 3-0.
3-0 green light?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I could be wrong. I mean, obviously if Redfield's feeling good, but he's just a 275 hitter on the year, which is still good. I just don't know if he'd have the 3-0 green line, and he didn't there.
A little bit outside, wasn't sure it was going to be a fastball down the middle. A little bit risky, but if you make some contact on it, if a pitch you know might be right down the middle.
So still up in a good hitter's count is Redfield. It's Jack Ross trying to get out of the jam once again for the Trojans, and his catcher wants time. And it was Ross nearly about to deliver that pitch. As Calball, the catcher, will head out and have a chat with him. Anytime you see a catcher call time in this situation with a runner on second, you got to think maybe Spring Arbor has the signs from the catcher behind home plate and is giving his hitters some hints of what may be coming next. Spring Arbor dugout waiting to erupt if Redfield can come up with that go-ahead hit. Ben Redfield waits on the pitch from Ross. Here it is. Inside and low, and that is a 5-pitch walk. So now the bases are loaded for the Taylor Trojans, and Ross is going to get another message from his coaching staff.
The shortstop, number 21, Brennan
Yeah,
Moran.
gotta calm his nerves here more than anything. That's gonna be the start. You go out there, you say, hey, relax, we got this. Let's take it one pitch at a time. You know, you see right there, he's kind of got his hands on it and say, hey, you know what, just relax. But then you gotta go into strategy.
And that's assistant coach Justin Barber, who's serving as the pitching coach as well. He has done a nice job with this staff. I mean, they really are one of the best teams year in and year out on the mound. And Barber just trying to give one of his best relievers, Jack Ross, talking to about staying confident, you know, finding a way to get out of this inning and give this really good Taylor offense a chance. Last year in the first season, in his first season, which was a while back, he's been with Taylor for 5 years. Taylor, their pitching staff, had only a .209 opposing batting average, so he's obviously doing a really good job there with these pitchers. Ross delivers first pitch, too far outside to Brennan Moran.
Especially being that in his first season, you know, you gotta think about that. You have to go in and gain the respect of a whole bunch of guys, some of them veterans who are probably used to the old guy.
Moran yesterday had 2 hits. He's looking for his first today. The pitch. Breaking ball in there for strike 1. Count 1-1.
Not a bigger moment here.
Sometimes it's your 6th hole that has to come up and get the big hit. You know, he's lower in the lineup. The shortstop, not a tremendous hitter, but if he comes up with a big hit right here, he could be the hero. Nearly chases but holds on. And the count's 2-1.
Yeah, got to appeal there. Didn't look like he went too far around.
Moran, 247 hitter, knocked in 22 runs, no bombs on the year.
Heck of a time if he could find his first one here.
Right now, I think Spring Arbor would take anything from Moran. Just a base hit to give him the lead. The pitch. Through the middle, and there it is. There's the base hit. Here comes the runner from second, Raskowski. Throw to third, not in time. Brennan Moran with a 2-run single has Spring Arbor on top, 4-2 over the top-ranked Trojans.
Raskowski runs all the way through the dugout. Take a look at this one here. Scorch right up the middle. He tried to make a play on it. Reflex is not fast enough. Charging in here, Raskowski was booking it home. Trying to get him at third and end the inning. No can do. What a huge hit there. That is big time. And now the Trojans on the ropes.
So Raskowski is intentionally walked to bring up Redfield, who then finds his way on base via the walk. And it's Brennan Moran right now, who might have posters around the Spring Arbor locker room later today if he can, you know, stay in there in the box and become the hero here today.
Might get first serving at dinner tonight.
I'm going to say that's a huge hit for a guy batting .247 on the year. He steps right up there against one of the best relievers and the top team in the conference, and he's delivered the lead to his side.
Big-time players make big-time plays.
Mullins, who's had a nice day at the plate, and there the runner goes off to second in Moran. He's going to get the easiest stolen base of the week.
Yeah, really smart choice there. Just take off there. They're not going to throw it down. They might, and surprised they didn't at least try to like fake him out, but he was running so slow.
So Mullins now with a base hit could give Spring Arbor a lot of breathing room, especially with no hold out at second base. Base hit scores 2 more.
There's a big old gap there in right center.
Pitch right at the bottom of the zone for strike 1. Moran with a 2-run single has the 6th seed Spring Arbor beating the number 1 seed, the Taylor Trojans right now, 4-2 in the top of the 8th at Forest Glen Park. The pitch, another breaking ball. This time finds the inside part of the plate, and it's 2-2.
Yep. Biggest pitch of the game right here. Unless he throws a ball, then it's the next one for sure. But right now, if he gets out of this one, he can give it to his offense.
Ross out there, his first inning of work. Spring Arbor looking to add on some more. The pitch, too far outside.
Now officially, biggest pitch of the game.
Biggest pitch of the game. You heard it here first. 4-2 lead for the Cougars. The Trojans trying to get out of trouble and trying to avoid an upset on day 2 of the Crossroads League tournament.
Probably going to try to paint the corner here, get him the chase. It's still trying to get in the strike zone, however.
Pitch, breaking ball, a swing and a miss, but Spring Arbor puts up 2 runs, and they now lead 4-2 over the number 1 seed in the Crossroads League. Swing and a miss there. Ross able to get the strikeout, but not in time. It is a 4-2 lead for Spring Arbor as we head in to the bottom of the 8th.
This is how we like to do it.
Here's the biggest hit of the day so far for Spring Arbor, a 2-run single from Brennan Moran, I should say, as he comes up with that huge hit, a 4-2 lead in the bottom of the 8th for the 6th seed, and right now everything's going right for the Cougars. They've played great defense today. They've had really solid pitching. They're waiting for that one big hit, and they got it. And now it's the number 1 seed, the Taylor Trojans, kind of on the ropes here, looking to get back into this game with just 2 at-bats left. Mullins with a big breaking ball in there for strike 1. He threw 2 pitches in the bottom of the 7th and induced a ground ball double play. The pitch, this one too high, as TJ Bass is at the plate. 0 for 2 today. Obviously a lot of power in that bat. As Spring Arbor plays him on the left side, planning to pull the ball. That pitch is just on the corner, and it's 1-2. Mullins looking for his first strikeout of his outing. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball. Bass holds on, and a good block back there by Razkowski. Brant Mullins pitched 2 2/3 yesterday against Grace. He's on to his 2nd inning of work today. Bass lifts one to the right side. Giving it a chase is Redfield at the wall, and he slides into the fence. And that's going to be a foul ball, and the count's going to stay at 2-2.
He really made a good chase on that one. It was out. You would really like to avoid that slide there, though. Possibility of a knee injury there.
Yeah, a little dangerous from Redfield, making his way over to that fence. It looked like it was out of play the whole time, but you can't blame him for the effort.
I mean, he gladly would have reached over and grabbed that for the out, but...
Mullins back on the mound, waiting for Bass to get ready. Now they're both ready to go. Here's the 2-2. Breaking ball just low. It looked like a strike, as the catcher Razkowski did a really nice job, but instead it's ball 3, and Bass maybe a little lucky on this one.
Take a look at it here. He did dip.
The 3-2 is popped up, though, to the right side. Brock Mullins over. Instead, it's going to be the second baseman, Brunin, running all the way from the left side of the infield, and he makes the catch.
That one just about touched the clouds, but made a good defensive play there. Called it off. Good communication there by the Spring Arbor infield. Worst communication, there could have been a collision. Going back to that breaking ball, though, kind of the way he caught it, he did flip his wrist quite strongly.
It was a really close pitch, and now Mullins goes too far inside, and he hits the four-hitter Vander Mullins. So 1 man on, and the tying run coming to the plate for Taylor.
Yeah, just from the beginning, looked like he didn't really have a chance.
Mullins really relies on that breaking ball. And if it doesn't break, it stays right in that right-handed batter's box. And it did just that there. So 1 out. Here's the pitch. There's the breaking ball. That one too low. Count 1-0.
Yeah, you might want to start trying to get that breaking ball up a little bit. They're not calling it low anymore.
Mason David in at the plate. There's a fastball that finds the inside corner, count 1-1. David on the day, 1 for 3. Mullen over on first after the hit by pitch. Mullins on the mound. The pitch nearly hits the outside corner, just a little too wide, count 2-1. Spring Arbor making this a bullpen game now. Mullins trying to get another double play ball. Breaking ball too far outside, and the count's 3-1 for David. Pitch. Inside fastball fouled straight back, and the count moves to 3-2.
That was one he really, really wanted. He tried everything, took as much of that one as he could. He just fouled it back. Looked like it was out of the zone. Now a big 3-2 here.
Mullins sets on the mound. Big pitch. Right down the middle. It's strike 3, and Mullins rings up the batter. That's the second out of the inning.
Yeah, that's really tough. The umpire's not going to like that one. You flip the bat, and you kind of look back at him. Looked like it was a little bit outside, but they've been giving him that. He flips the bat, kind of looks at him. He's stunned. Hopefully nothing too bad said there. He said, no, you're going back to your dugout, bud.
Yeah, that could have been slightly outside, and now this pitch is called a low strike here on call ball.
Yeah, really tough. Emotions are high. You're sitting here on the ropes as the 1 seed. Didn't expect to be here. You get rung up on that. It might be a little bit tough, but you got to play through it.
Breaking ball outside, 1-1 count. From behind home plate, that pitch there looked like more of a strike on David than it did from behind the pitcher's mound. But either way, it's the second out of the inning, and now it's up to call ball to, come out here and have a big swing for his Taylor side. The pitch. Through the left side, a diving play by Moran, and he can't make it. And so that'll move up the runner from first, Mullen. And on to first base goes Cowball. And now there's 2 men on.
Moran doing everything he can. He uses his full extension, just not enough on it.
And it looks like there's going to be another courtesy runner here for the catcher. And we will have a new hitter at the plate. And this is Luke Pachetti, who will get his first at-bat of the afternoon. Excuse me, on the live stats, it's Luke Pachetti, but it's actually Sam Glad who's up at the plate. He's had several at-bats here today. And a little conference on the mound, as obviously this is a high leverage situation for Brant Mullins. In a 4-2 game, bottom of the 8th, you've got the number 1 seed really backed against the wall and a chance to win a game and potentially go on and win a Crossroads League tournament if you can stay hot. Ryan and I talked about it's not always about the best team, it's about the hottest team, and if Spring Arbor gets on a good run, there's always a chance to do something crazy at the end of the year.
It's a whole new season. No one warming him in the bullpen. It's his game. That's what he probably just got told. Hey, guess what? It's your game now, bud.
At the plate for Taylor, the designated hitter, number 8, Sam Glad.
Brant Mullins on the mound, Sam Glad at the plate. 2 men on, 2 men out. Bottom of the 8th, 2-run game. First pitch, fastball, strike 1.
That one just clipping the corner.
Glad from the left side, waits for Mullins. Here's the pitch. This one up the middle and through. The wave is on from second. The throw goes to third from Laurie, and it's not in time. So it's runners on the corner, 1 run in, and now it's just a 1-run ball game.
That's a huge hit right there. Once again, not much you can do there. Full extension, almost knocked it down. Not quite, though. That was going to hurt tonight. And before you go to bed, you think about it. You have 1 more inch on that one. It's in your glove. You flip it to the shortstop. You're out of the inning. Biggest batter of the game. Keep saying it, but
Vander Mullen, who scored on the base hit. And it looks like Spring Arbor may appeal to make sure this runner touched second base. Steps off the mound and throws to second, and the call is going to be safe. So maybe Spring Arbor just feeling like they need to steal an out somewhere.
If you can do that, you can do that.
And Raskowski now steps out, goes through his first and third signs, as you can see from center field. Runners on the corner, Glad at first after that RBI single. Cowball on third at the plate. Braden Manning, who's hit the ball hard 3 different times. Pitch. Breaking ball just stays too far in. Ball 1.
That appeal solemn works, but hey, if you got it in the bag, you might as well try it. If the umpire is sitting there like, hey, you never tagged up, and you can ring him up. It's gonna be pretty controversial. You might get a coach in your face, but it's worth a shot.
Up the middle, and Manning stays hot. He's tied the game with an RBI single, and Cowball comes home to score, and now it's a tie ball game.
A little 2-out rally here, just what they wanted. Take a look at it here. Like you said, Manning stays hot. Fell off the mound. Nobody there in the middle of the field. Had to go to center.
It was a big swing there by Braden Manning, and he continues to find ways to get on base. 3 for 4 today with 3 singles, and the biggest run of his life knocked in here in the bottom of the 8th. Looks like a pinch hitter coming in now to hit for the Taylor Trojans.
At the plate for Taylor.
And that new hitter is number 16. Looking to find him here on the roster. It's Brennan Frickle. He's a freshman infielder. He's only had 17 at-bats on the year, so definitely flipping a coin here to see if someone who has not had a ton of collegiate experience can come up with a big hit. What a story this would be. The pitch. Breaking ball fouled off to the right side. Count 1-2. A lot of freshmen playing in really big roles for this Taylor side.
Hey, you want that. You want that postseason experience. Get a little chance to be a little risky here because you might need him in a few days. You might need him on Monday. You never know.
Here's the pitch from Mullins. Breaking ball just sweeps around the plate, and the count is 2-2. Frickle comes from all the way from Driftwood, Texas. Dripping Springs is the high school he attended. Basketball and baseball player there, and right now he finds himself in the biggest spot of his life. The pitch. Too far outside. Now it's 3-2, and the runners will get a head start.
They got a guy up in the bullpen that's probably his last batter one way or another. I said it was his game. It was. Didn't turn out the way he wanted it to. Nice little 2-out rally here from the Trojans. See if we can get out of this one.
The runners will be off on the pitch. Fastball too high. Check swing. No go. And the bases are loaded. So Taylor has rallied back here late in this game. It was Spring Arbor with a 2-run single on the top of the 8th. And here's the check swing here, way up, and it didn't look like he went. So Frickle puts together a really good at bat. And he's just handing it off now to the top of the order in Camden Knapp.
They're leaving him in there. Giving him one last chance. That's going to be tough. Really good job of the umpire there. Make sure you check. Didn't look like it from your angle, but might as well, just double check. Really great piece of umpiring there.
If Taylor can get a base hit here, they have a really good chance of escaping an upset here against Spring Arbor. Knapp waits in, leadoff hitter for the Trojans. Pitch, curveball, falls in there for a strike. 1-1.
The thing I'm curious about is who do they send out to the mound at the end of this one? They got a couple guys up in the bullpen throwing. Do you roll the dice and keep the same guy in, or you just go to the bullpen and say, hey, we need to move on? That's all that matters right now.
Fouled off to the left side. Count 1-2. Now the decision pitch out there for Mullins. Does he try that breaking ball or the little two-seamer he throws? Decision pitch on its way. Knapp spits on the breaking ball, and the count's now 2-2.
Yeah, Rakowski was setting up low the entire time. He's ready to get in front of that one.
Knepp waits on Mullins to set once again. The set at the waist. And the 2-2 pitch. Inside, and now the count's 3-2. Nowhere to put him. 3-2 count. Runners off on the pitch. Brant Mullins finds himself in a sticky situation. Camden Knepp, the leadoff man for Taylor. A chance to be the hero. Fouled off to the left side.
You think you walk in here, they take the lead. If not, you got those two really tough hitters in the bottom of the ninth. I mentioned the possibility of a walk-off, and those are the two guys you want at the top.
3-2 pitch once again. Ground ball left side. This could be a tough play. Moran on to first. In time! Nice play by Moran, and the pick by Mullins keeps this game tied at 4.
Gave everything he had on that one. Took a dive. We'll see here. It's going to be a really close play. He looked up a little bit frustrated. Great play there at short. Took off with a one bounce. Takes a bounce, and
just a really close play down the first baseline. Either way, Moran keeps this one tied between Spring Arbor and Taylor. We'll be back for the final frame.
Bippa State Bank is a cornerstone of the community. Our banking building blocks were assembled in 1911 and haven't differed much since then. We still stay true to our local roots, aiming to support, uplift, and celebrate the citizens and businesses of Huntington. As proud lenders to and patrons of our local businesses, we make our community an even more prosperous place. And when you support local banking, you play an important role in Huntington's success stories. No matter what financial products you may need, your business is an invaluable opportunity for us to strengthen our relationship with Huntington, which we're fortunate enough to call home. Bippa State Bank is banking at its best. We believe in community banking.
We have reached the 9th inning in a very exciting game. 4-4 between the 6th seed Spring Arbor and the number 1 seed, the Taylor Trojans. This is the 2:30 game. We had Huntington and Mount Vernon earlier in the game, in the day, I should say. And we will have Indiana Wesleyan and St. Francis to finish off the night tonight. All kinds of baseball in Huntington, Indiana. And the same man remains on the mound, Jack Ross, for the Taylor Trojans, taking on Braden Leathed. Takes first pitch, breaking ball outside.
Yep. He had a little bit of a rough top of the 8th. His offense bailed him out. Now, once again, not fully his game because there is two guys out there. If he can get out of this one, he sends it to two of the best hitters in the league.
Leathed watches that one too far inside, and the count is 2-0. So Leathed, the 8-hole hitter, definitely not someone Ross wants to put on. Here's the pitch, right down the middle. And this game's just been so back and forth. It was Spring Arbor that got out on top 2-0. And Taylor battled back to make it 2-2. Spring Arbor jumps ahead 4-2, and then Taylor comes right back and takes 2 more runs of their own, and now it's 4-4 in the top of the 9th in the conference tournament. So a lot of emotions. Every play is a little more heightened, and if Leathed can get on to start the inning, that's a big deal for Spring Arbor, but that's a strike. Makes the count 3-2. Leathed ready at the plate. Here's the pitch from Ross. Lifted to the left side. Taking a few steps back. Now coming in is Manning, and out to make the play is Ben Kennedy, the shortstop. Went a long ways to make that grab.
Yeah, Kennedy, good communication, said, hey, I got this one. Took quite a few steps there, just kept on rolling, and then called him off, said I got it. He was playing pretty deep.
The designated hitter, number 12, Jake Spadowski.
So Spadowski's back up now. He had that RBI triple earlier in the day. Ross on the bump. The pitch. too low. This is kind of that spot you always dream of when you're a kid. Come up in the top of the ninth, give your team the lead with one swing, or find a way to come around and score that game-winning run. And these players right now both looking to do that. Spodusky shoots one to left field. Manning's there again and makes the grab. And now 2 down in the top of the ninth. So a little cleaner here so far from Ross on the mound.
Yep, take a look at it here. Kind of had to get his confidence back. Looks like he will. Looks like this is his batter. Makes a nice read on it. Closes the glove. Make it real easy.
Ross sets once again. He now faces the leadoff man, Aiden Brunin, who takes fastball on the outside corner. Strike 1. If Ross can get through this inning, he'll have Colpine and Bass and Vandermolen at the plate for his offense. Pretty good trio if you're trying to walk it off in the bottom of the ninth. Ross with the set once again. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball almost catches Brunin on the shoulder. He's maybe thinking maybe he should have let that hit him and get a free base runner here in the top of the ninth. He is 2 for 4 on the day with an RBI. Good hitter at the top of this Cougars order. Swings, lifts one to right field. Back on it is now Bass, who's over in right, and he makes the grab. So it's a clean inning for Jack Ross and a chance for the Taylor Trojans to walk it off at Forest Glen Park. We'll be back for potentially the last part of this game. It's the Taylor Trojans and Spring Arbor on FDN Sports.
This is how we like to do it.
That is the dugout of the #1 seed from Upland, Indiana, the Taylor Trojans. They are hoping to walk off the Spring Arbor Cougars in this one. It'll still be Brant Mullins out there on the mound for the Cougars. Let's give you a little recap of today's game. In the 3rd inning, Spring Arbor started the scoring with 2, and then Taylor came back with 2 more in the 5th. We had 2 more from Spring Arbor in the top of the 8th. They were up 4-2, and then Mullins gave up 2 in the bottom of the 8th, and we are now here in the bottom of the 9th, tied 4-4. Colpine, league's leading hitter at the plate, takes first pitch strike on the inside corner. He had a 2-run single earlier in the day. He's 1 for 3 at the plate. Colpine waits, and here's the 0-1. Breaking ball too low. Colpine loves to hit the ball up the middle and go the other way, as we saw on that 2-run single earlier in the game. And if he gets on, you have the league leader in home runs coming up next.
Only need 1 swing right now.
Pitch. Breaking ball too low again. Brant Mullins up to 36 pitches. He's gone an inning and 2/3. Those 2 earned runs, a K and a walk. Here's the 2-1. Foul to the right side, and the count evens up at 2-2. The 2-2 pitch. Colpine takes too far inside, and now the count's full. Definitely do not want to give up a free base here, even though Colpine is an incredible hitter. You want to make him earn it, not give him a free walk. The 3-2. That is on the outside corner, called strike 3.
The second time in this many innings that Taylor thought they had a walk and flipped the bat, had to walk back to their dugout across the umpire. It's really tough. Take a look at it here. Nice frame job there. Might have clipped the corner.
It looks like it's maybe barely off the outside part of the plate, but to the home plate umpire's credit, he has called that pitch all day long. First pitch to Bass is outside this time, and the count's 1-0. TJ Bass on the day 0 for 3 with a K, but he can turn on a baseball and end this game in a hurry. 18 home runs in the regular season, and now he's up 2-0.
This is exactly where you want to be with Bass. Make him throw you a fastball.
Yeah, and a great hitter's count here. 56 RBIs, 303 hitter on the season. Nowhere near the zones from Mullins, and now it's a 3-0 count.
Green light, question mark?
I would give him the green light.
All right.
I think he's the right guy. 18 home runs, 56 RBIs, 303 hitter. I think so. But he's not going to get a chance as that one's too far outside, and that's a 1-out walk. That'll bring up Cade Vandermolen, the first baseman for Taylor. And it looks like that might be the last pitch of the day for Brant Mullins. And we'll see if Spring Arbor goes with a change here, but you could tell that Mullins was not going to give in to Bass there and let him beat Spring Arbor here today, Carson.
Yeah, absolutely not. I mean, he was just going outside, inside, trying to get him to chase. Didn't want to give him anything down the middle, anything too easy. See, it doesn't, somebody warming up. They're just talking right now. He hasn't taken the ball away.
They are having a lengthy conversation out there to see if anything's going on, and we will wait and see if they do make the move, and it doesn't appear so. So once again, Brant Mullins is sticking out there, and he just walked Bass on 4 pitches, and now he's got to deal with Vandermolen, who's 0 for 3 on the day.
You got a lot of trust in that young man, but that's like you said, 0 for 3 on the day. Trusting him a little bit. A little bit of discussion between the head coach and the umpire here about what I'm unaware.
Yeah, maybe just some conversations on what's going on as far as potentially how many mound visits remain, or if he would go to another reliever, what needs to happen between him and the home plate umpire. But either way, Mullins is still out there, and he will face Cade Vandermolen. Bass on first, 1 out, bottom of the 9th. Strike in there. Count 0-1. Vandermolen can also turn on a pitch. He's got 12 homers on the season.
Playing pretty deep, big old gap there in right center.
0-1. Big swing and a miss. And the count is now 0-2.
See if they try to move Bass or not. Probably going to try to get a ball outside here. Give him the chase.
Mason David waits on deck. The 0-2 pitch from Mullins. Too far outside. That's his miss with that arm angle, kind of a little bit of a 3/4 arm angle. He misses outside fairly often. Now the 1-2. Breaking ball lifted up over our heads and out of play. Count remains at 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Remember that one at the last possible second.
And Mullins has hung a few breaking balls, and with these guys in the middle of this Taylor lineup, you got to be careful. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball. This time he really sat back on that pitch and fouled it off to the right side. And right now he's just staying alive, trying to find that one mistake from Mullins.
Come on.
1-2. Breaking ball, a swing and a miss. Down goes Vandermolen, and Mullins gets his 3rd strikeout of the day.
Yeah, one he really wanted. That one, a perfect breaking ball. Was in the strike zone until it wasn't. Got him to swing at it.
The second baseman, number 15, Mason
That'll bring up Mason David, who has not hit many home runs on the year, but he is 1 for 4 on the day today with 1 strikeout. Mullins trying to get out of trouble here in the bottom of the 9th. Pitch. Too far inside. Take a look at David. Earlier in the game, he came up with a big single that led to a Laurier out in center field as well. And now he takes a pitch too far outside, 2-0. So that was his 1 single earlier in the game. And that moved a base runner at the time over to 3rd base. Here's the pitch. Lifted through the left side. Nice line drive swing there. And that'll move Bass up to 2nd base. So now 2 runners on, 2 outs. And a base hit could end this game for the Taylor Trojans.
Absolutely, this is huge. Right here on the FTN Sports replay. Now that nobody was there, was too far over their heads when they realized it. Like you said, Bass in scoring position now. That's deadly, and they're still leaving them out there.
So it's Bass out on second, David at first, Cal Ball at the plate. 2 for 4 on the day. Mullins on the mound. Taylor trying to walk it off. The pitch. Big swing and a miss. And Cal Ball down in the count. 0-1.
If that ball gets hit to the outfield, if you're anywhere close for it, you got to give everything you have to keep this game alive.
Now the 0-1. Another breaking ball. No, a little too high. So now the count's 1-1.
It's in the infield. All you got to do is get it to first. Take this game to extras.
Cal Ball looks to be the guy that sends Taylor on to the next round in the Crossroads League Final. Mullins trying to keep his team alive. Ball outside, 2-1. Pretty full crowd here behind home plate. Indiana Wesleyan down here preparing for their game as well. Here's the 2-1. Fouled straight back.
Yeah, Trojan fans historically are great travelers, especially the I-9 rivalry, not but a 45-minute drive.
Mullins trying to get out of trouble. Cal Ball trying to be the hero. The pitch. Breaking ball lifted to the right side. Easily playable for Brunin, and we have free baseball. Spring Arbor and Taylor heading to some extra innings. We will be back after this short break for the top of the 10th between these two Crossroads League sides.
As the owner of JJ's, I invite you to visit one of our 7 BP convenience stores. And when you do, I expect you will experience hometown excellence in the cleanest and friendliest convenience stores in your community. Please also consider visiting JJ Java for the best cup of coffee in town, or JJ's Pit Stop for a quick, no appointment necessary professional oil change. Also, if you ever need a clean and efficient environment in which to do laundry, JJ's Washroom is ready to serve you.
Welcome back to Forest Glen Park. We've got free baseball for you, even though we had it free for you already on YouTube here today. We'll add some extra inning fun between the Taylor Trojans and the Spring Arbor Cougars. These two sides have battled it out all day long. Back and forth affair between these two sides. It was once tied at 2, now it's tied at 4. And Taylor's looking to move on to day 3 and play the loser of St. Francis or Indiana Wesleyan, which we have up next. And Taylor will make a change on the mound. It's going to be Gabe Pentecost on the mound now. And he's coming in, replacing Jack Ross, who threw a scoreless 9th, but had a very eventful 8th. And now the third pitcher of the day for Taylor has a chance to keep this one all square and give his team a second chance to walk it off in the bottom of the 10th.
Yeah, that's the advantage you get as the home team. Obviously, you want to walk it off there, save a bullpen arm, but that's not the way the cards were dealt today. Now it's up to them to play great defense, throw your pitches, and get another chance here at the bottom of the 10th.
So Gable Pentecost in. He's a freshman, 6'3", right-hander, 200 pounds out of Fremont, Indiana. He has pitched in 47 innings here as a freshman and has a 5.32 ERA over 47 completed innings. First pitch from him is too far outside to Bryce Ritchie, the 2-hole hitter for Spring Arbor, who's 1 for 4 on the day. Pentecost with the pitch right down the middle and a big swing and a miss from Ritchie. Four runs, 6 hits, 1 error for Spring Arbor. It's 4 runs, 10 hits, no errors, and Ritchie rips 1 foul off the light pole and back onto the field of play. The count's 1-2.
That's statistically improbable.
Ritchie likes hitting the ball that way, though, so maybe his statistics are a little higher at hitting that light pole down the line. He fouls this one off behind home plate. Count 1-2.
game goes on much longer, we might have to turn on those lights.
Yeah, we're going to be pushing it to start our next game on time here between St. Francis and Indiana Wesleyan. As this game is taking a little bit of time, a lot of pitching changes, a lot of base hits, a lot of traffic on the base paths. And all of a sudden, Richie evens up the count at 2-2. Here's the pitch. Right down the middle to the left side. Over to field it and make the throw over, but a little too low, and Vandermolen can't pick it out. That'll be a throwing error on Camden Knapp.
Oh, that is huge. That is a huge break for Spring Arbor. My goodness. Could they afford that? This one hit right down the line to third baseman. Makes a good play. Just couldn't keep it up. Took a bad bounce there. Sometimes you get that off the turf, hit his glove, and ricocheted away. And they'll take the base. And he's like, hey, wait a minute, I'm safe.
Yeah, Knapp has made tougher plays than that today, but unable to make that throw over. So now Laurie's up with Richie on first base and no one out in the top of the 10th. Here's the pitch. Too far outside.
Are they counting that an error?
Yeah, it will go as an error, so the first of the day on the Taylor Trojans. Usually a pretty stout defensive team. Laurie 0 for 4 at the plate. And the pitch. Breaking ball falls in there on the outside corner for strike one. Count 1-1. The next two teams, the St. Francis Cougars and the Indiana Wesleyan Wildcats, wait behind home plate for their chance to play in the Crossroads League. Laurie rips one over the shortstop's head. That's going to be a base hit. That moves Richie up to second, and Laurie, his first hit of the day, has Spring Arbor in a really good spot to take the lead here in the top of the 10th.
Another great piece of hitting here. Now here's the question. You got Radikowski. You've already walked him twice. Do you walk him a third time, load the bases?
I don't think with no outs you would walk him here because he is also probably a double play candidate. He hits the ball hard, so if he hits one hard to the left side, you might be able to get a quick 2 if it's on the ground.
If it's on the right side, the run's going to score.
You're right. Just no outs yet, so I don't know if they'd want to load him up and bring Redfield up. But I've seen crazier things before. When someone's hitting 400 on the season, you got to ask yourself those questions. Pentecost is set. Here's the pitch. Outside, 1-1.
He's been locked in all day, had some great base running, hasn't really got a chance to hit. Like I said, been walked twice. They're shifting him pretty hard. So if he can get it past second base, he's time to start the carousel.
Rakowski at the plate. Laurie on first, Richie on second. No outs, top 10. Rakowski right side, foul ball.
That is a brutal break. That one would have caromed around there and probably scored both. You see the Spring Arbor bench. They were ready to explode and it just curved away at the last possible second. Went on the wrong side of the line. That is a brutal break.
Yeah, Rakowski put a really good swing on that one and just unable to keep it fair long enough. And so now the count's 1-2, and the home plate umpire is trying to get the attention of Taylor's pitcher, Pentecost, on the mound. And make sure he resets and gives him a little time to get back in the box. He's ready now. The 1-2. Breaking ball to the left side, foul ball.
He got that one on the left side, but the last one was on the right side. And like we said, they're shifting them really hard. So if he can get it, like I said, in that gap, it's going to be huge. But even if he can hit it in that same spot but keep it fair, the worst thing he can do at this point is do another one of those, hit over to the third, and get the double play with the lead runner. And that's the disaster scenario right now for Spring Arbor.
The pitch, too high. Yeah, even a strikeout here is better if you're a Spring Arbor fan, because Raskowski, if he grounds into a double play, then you're left with only one more chance. Home plate umpire just flashed the count. It's actually a 3-2 count. We had 2-2 up here on the live stats and on the scoreboard, so it's a 3-2 count according to the home plate umpire. And here's the pitch. Breaking ball, swing and a miss. Raskowski goes down swinging. And that is the first out of the inning.
Yeah, really good pitch here. Once again, strike until it wasn't. Nothing you can do about it. And as you mentioned, that's not the ideal situation for Spring Arbor. You would have liked to have that hit that went foul. But if you wanted anything, the strikeout's probably the place to go if there was going to be an out there.
So Pentecost gets the first out here in the top of the 10th. Now Redfield up. He takes a big hack at a breaking ball and comes up empty.
Breaking ball doing wonders right now for the Trojans. See if they stick to it.
Redfield 0 for 3. Got a chance again with runners in scoring position. The pitch. Fastball inside corner, strike 2. So Richie reached on that air. Laurie singled to left center. Raskowski strikes out. And now it's up to Redfield. Dribbled back behind home plate. Count holds it 0-2.
Kind of panicked there. He couldn't see it. Looked around.
Spring Arbor looking to upset the #1 Taylor Trojans. Redfield 0 for 3 on the day. Needs a big swing for his side. Dribbles one right side. Could be a tough play, but it's going to bounce foul. So a good decision there by Pentecost not to try to pick that one up in fair territory. It could have been an infield single.
Yeah, it looked like he was about there. If he would have caught it, it would have been really tough to catch him.
Redfield back in there, still an 0-2 count with Pentecost on the mound. The righty gets his signs from the catcher Cowball and now comes set. Here's the 0-2. Outside, throw to third, Richie's in there.
Oh, the Trojans in disbelief. I thought he was safe. I'd have to see the replay though. It was pretty dang close. Here it is right here.
Right down the third base line. This will be your best look. Cowball put the throw right on the money, but you can see Richie sneaks that left hand in and stays on the bag.
Yeah, just barely. He moves that left foot over. That's a problem with turf sometimes. Thad Frame said that's what they wanted it for. They knew they could be sneaky on the base pass. They can get earlier slides, but you slide late, the turf will punish you. He caught a break there. Now they got runners. See if they try to give the man at first and get both runners in scoring position.
Redfield in play. Pentecost has the runner at third, and he overthrows it. Richie's going to score. Here comes the next runner. The throw from Manning is not in time.
Unbelievable play right there. That might have just cost the Trojans the game. Unbelievable. I thought he was toast. I thought he was gone. He took it. He watched him. He was about halfway down the line. Take a look at it right here. Took a bounce there. He runs up and grabs it. He's about quarter way down the line. He throws it over. He might have been late. That tag was pretty rough. Third base coach says, you got to go. You got to go. He was down on the ground, closely trailing behind. What a break there for Spring Arbor. Looks like they might go to the pen.
And that stolen base by Richie is absolutely huge now. He gets into third. He forces that bad throw by Pentecost, and that leads to 2 runs and still a runner out on second with 1 out. And so Pentecost, who really made a nice play coming off the mound, he looked like he had Richie dead there on third base, but instead he overthrows his third baseman Neff, and Manning has to chase after the ball, and the runner comes all the way around to score from first, that being Laurie. Redfield out on second, and Spring Arbor now back in the driver's seat.
Absolutely, I mentioned it. I thought he was, I watched him, he was kind of waiting. I think he was daring. I was like, hey, throw it over here. He thought he could get back. Thought they just wanted to go for the lead runner, maybe take off and try, but it just didn't work. Now a 2-run lead.
Incredible situation unfolding in front of us here at Forest Glen. Spring Arbor, who we mentioned before the game, has played Taylor really tough all year long, and 2 errors here late in the game for Taylor could end up being the difference and why they don't move on and play in the winner's bracket tomorrow. First pitch breaking ball to Pentecost, from Pentecost to Moran.
That'd be a tough break to go to the loser's bracket and then have that problem there with using the third bullpen arm here. You already used your ace going to the loser's bracket.
Lifted to the right side, and on it is Colpine, who's back out there, throw to second, and tagging up and making it to third is the runner Redfield. So now just 90 feet away from a 3-run lead is Spring Arbor.
Now batting for Spring Arbor, the first baseman, number 23, Brock Mullins.
So that'll bring up Mullins again at the plate. Moran, who had that 2-run single, just flew out to right. And now Brock Mullins, 1 for 3 on the day. Another hit here gives Spring Arbor a little bit more of an advantage. First pitch, breaking ball, up and away.
Got a guy warming up the bullpen. I assume it's going to be his game.
Spring Arbor, whether they add one on or not, is just 3 outs away from upsetting the Taylor Trojans. Good swing, right side, stab at it by Vandermolen, and he will beat Mullins to the bag. But a costly inning on defense for the Taylor Trojans, and that gives Spring Arbor the 6-4 lead. A little slow dribbler, a throwing error on Pentecost, and Spring Arbor is now just 3 outs away from a big upset within the Crossroads League. You're watching Crossroads League Baseball on FDN Sports. Back at Forest Glen Park, where the Taylor Trojans are going to have to go up and score at least 2 if they want to play in the winner's bracket the rest of the way. And the man on for Spring Arbor is Joey McCowan, the senior out of Schoolcraft, Michigan, has the job of coming in and closing this one out. It's the 3rd pitcher of the day for Spring Arbor. And if they can sneak through this one, they feel good about their chances because they weren't expected to win this game. You get through a game that you weren't expected to win, come away with an upset victory, they'll be thinking, you know, we expected to win this the whole time. But looking at how Taylor has played all year long, they're 30-6 within the Crossroads League this season. But one of those losses came from Spring Arbor, and it could be number 2 here today.
You think about what an upset does to the psyche of both teams. It would be huge.
McCowan's first pitch is a ball low. McCowan did pitch once against Taylor this year. It didn't go particularly well. 1 2/3, 2 hits, 2 earned, and 2 walks. So he'll look to get back in his groove against this Trojans team here, and he's down 2-0 on the first batter he faces. That being Sam Glad, who's 2 for 3 at the plate today with 1 run knocked in. McCowan's pitch. Breaking ball in there. Strike number 1. You look at the rest of McCowan's work this season. He does just have a 3.32 ERA. 16 games. And one of them a complete game as a starter as he misses up. And the count's now 3-1. 4-3 record as well. So a really solid year for him. But you don't want to walk the leadoff man here if you're coming in with a 2-run lead in the bottom of the 10th. Pitch. That one's in the zone. Count now 3-2.
Yeah, waiting for his pitch. A little bit of a risky one there to make it a full count.
Bottom 3 for Taylor, so these are the guy that McCowan wants to go after. He goes after this batter here. It's popped up, and Glad is out for just the 2nd time today as Moran makes the catch. And Spring Arbor just 2 outs away.
That was a great read there by Moran. Really great shortstop play. This one looked a lot harder than it actually was hit. I kind of looked up and thought, where was it? And it was just right in his glove. It went off the bat pretty hard. Must have caught a gust of wind or something and got knocked down. Now, like you said, 2 outs away.
Best hitter so far today for Taylor has been Braden Manning, and that's who's up right now. 3 for 4 with an RBI. And he also lined into that triple play, which looms awfully large right now with a 2-run advantage for Spring Arbor. The 1-0. Breaking ball in there. Count evens up at 1-1. But every single at bat, all 4 times up, Manning has hit the ball hard and on a line. Using that bright orange bat. Gets the 1-1. That one's too far outside. Count 2-1.
Quite flashy. I appreciate it.
Yeah, it kind of looks like he's walking up there with a Sharpie.
A really small traffic cone.
Here's the 2-1. That one does hit the outside corner again. Now the count's 2-2.
That outside corner has been fooling batters all day.
So McCowan's looking for his first strikeout of the afternoon. The pitch. Swing and a miss.
1 to go.
1 out away. Spring Arbor has a chance for the upset of the tournament here so far. And McCowan is feeling himself out on the mound, and he is 1 out away from sending his team onto the winner's bracket. And Spring Arbor came in here as big underdogs. They are just a few pitches away from essentially upsetting Taylor. Ball in the air, right side, foul territory. If he has rooms, Mullins can make the play, and he can't, as it falls into the bullpen. But McCowan, after starting that first batter down 3-1, has really locked back in, found his groove on the mound. And we talk about Spring Arbor being the 6th seed, but they're still 25-19 on the year, so they're a good baseball team.
That's just the Crossroads League for you, man.
Really tough conference. 0-1. Kennedy takes out wide. Count 1-1.
In football, the term any given Sunday is thrown around a lot, but in baseball, really, it's any given day overall.
Yeah, it doesn't matter who's playing against you. If you can play 9 innings better than another team, play 2.5, 3 hours better than another team, you can win a game and win a tournament. Cowan down 2-1 against Ben Kennedy. He's 0 for 2 with 2 Ks. And the pitch to the left side. A chance for Spring Arbor to upset Taylor, and they have. Bryce Ritchie to Brock Mullins, and Spring Arbor stays undefeated in the Crossroads League tournament.
Unbelievable. To take a look at this one here. What a story. Chopper third base side. We saw this cost Taylor last inning. No can do here. He was booking it down the line, trying everything. Beautiful stretch there. The dugout explodes. How about a little spike too? Spikes the ball. They're going to shake hands, and what a story. Spring Arbor, they got to love that feeling. The Trojans got to have to do some self-reflecting tonight.
Yeah, the number 1 seed defeated by Spring Arbor here today. It was a back-and-forth game, and Spring Arbor gets the last laugh as they're able to put up 2 in the top of the 10th. You look at some of these highlights. Taylor battled back. A triple play by Spring Arbor was a huge play in this game. And then the pitching and hitting from Spring Arbor all came together. That was a little triple to start the scoring for the Cougars. And you just look at all of these different things that went well for the Cougars today. Their offense got it going, but it was the defense as well. The Colpine 2-run single there that tied this game up, but they just never gave up and were able to come back and win this one in extras.
Absolutely. And you just saw great hitting from everybody. Cougars caught a couple good bounces too. A couple breaks. They got that yesterday against Grace too. But you know what? That's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. A back and forth game. Taylor kept coming back, showed some resilience, and they're going to have to be resilient again. They're going to losers bracket. And second year in a row, the first seed was upset in the first round of the Crossroads League tournament.
That's the play right there. That was the absolute different. Pentecost with a costly 2-run throwing error, and that is the difference between the 6 beating the 1. We'll take a short break. We'll be back very soon, though, for Indiana Wesleyan and the St. Francis Cougars. It's been another edition of Crossroads League Baseball. Spring Arbor upsets the Taylor Trojans on FTN Sports.